but it is him. Really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Hi. I know absolutely nothing. As I said in the chat earlier, I'm the least qualified person to be here, but I'm going to give it a crack anyway.
Awesome. Well, as we jump on board now, we're going to put some live action. We've got Peter Pavlovich on screen, the KFC mobile. So as I was talking to you just off air a little bit there, we do have a top 10 shootout tonight and only 12 drivers. So top 10 is going to be very, very sought after tonight.
Definitely going to make it very interesting. I'd hate to be the two people that didn't make it in.
Well, I mean, look, starting 10 or starting 12, I mean, is it really that bad a thing? I don't know. I mean, I think I'd probably start 12.
I mean, to be fair, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll catch the last, 5 minutes of practice here, and then we'll go straight into the open quali with the boys as they run through. So, just a bit of an update on good times right now. Dylan Gray sitting at top of the tree with a 203.88. So Dylan Gray just extending his little amateur dominance that he's got throughout the season and the Sunday night. So I think admin might be very closely looking at upgrading Dylan into the Pro Series. Troy Dooley, 204.4. Bradley Wall for SRW, 205 flat. So that's pretty good. So top three aren't separated by too much. Then we got Andrew Cowan, 205.19. Ray Oliver, which we've seen a fair bit of Ray throughout the SRW series. 205.25, so again, not separated by much at all. Tim Nickel, 205.47. Daniel Schultz, 205.64. Again, there's not a lot of gaps out there, Jace, to sort of write home about. They're very tight in times, aren't they?
It's going to be extremely tight in that top 8 by the looks of it. It's going to be a very interesting shootout, I think.
So as we look towards the track conditions, as we just see Daniel Schultz getting a little bit sideways there. Track temperature tonight, Jace, 38 degrees. I mean, that's hot.
That's a hot one. Without a doubt, that is cooking.
22 degrees ambient temperature with a 6 km/h wind. Nothing major to write home about. And I've been told on good authority that turns 3 and the last set of S's. So as we see on the track map there, just before the red line, there's a little set of S's there. Just gets a little hairy. And then turn 3, because you're trying to get on the gas so hard off that corner, these supercars do not like to get traction. One thing we know about these supercars is they do not like maximum throttle. So could be interesting tight during quali, Jason, what we can see.
Depending on how hard they want to push it, we might see a few spins here and there.
Well, I mean, this is only to set the shootout. Don't forget, we do have a shootout tonight for these amateur boys, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll get them right on board with the 1 laps and really generate and see what they're doing. So we'll jump on board here with Brock Mottershead, another one of our top-level AM guys, and just see, he was the one taking the fight to Dylan Gray last week, so we'll just see him as he comes through the back set of fast-flowing S's here at Silverstone. As we approach what will be... Oh, you see, there's that. You're just trying to get on the throttle again, just picking it up, and it's a little nasty.
And you can see all that body roll as well. This track's going to really throw these cars around.
So we'll switch through the right-hander here, and then we'll see Brock come up to those last set of S's that we keep talking about, or we just were talking about here. Now, if the guys hit the curb, which we'll see on a TV cam here in just a second, if they hit these curbs wrong, they get an off-track, and that invalidates the lap. So they've got to be really careful, and it's slow. So they're trying to get around the gas here to get up on to this front straight. So they're trying to get a good run. It's just going to be so hard to get that traction, get the power down. And big shout out to Harry Dodds in the Facebook chat. Let's go, Ray. Yeah, we'll get on board with Ray throughout the evening. There we go. We'll jump on board with Ray now. Ray Oliver from Frog Leap Juice Racing. Had to stop and think then. I was like, where is he from? And obviously you'll get to learn this as well, Jason, the more you do this with us. But yeah, Frog Leap Juice, awesome looking car there. And sitting comfortably in P5 right now, so we'll have to see what he can do during quali. But not a fan of the supercar, Ray Oliver. He's not the biggest fan of this car. He says it's very hard to drive. It's not quite to what he's used to. So we'll have to see how Ray goes. He's done all right this season. It's definitely something different. And I understand you're still yet to drive a supercar, Jace.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to drive a supercar yet. I only just recently got into the GT3s, and starting to get a bit familiar with that. Still not quite there yet, so I think I'm a fair way off of the supercars at this stage.
Awesome, yeah. No, I've had the pleasure of taking one of these cars out a couple of times, and I can understand Ray Oliver's content about what he's trying to get to. It is definitely a hard beast to drive, and seeing these amateurs come out and do it week in and week out, yeah, they definitely make me look silly. So we'll just got the race control briefing going on now for the boys to lock in and get loaded. So we've got Steven Sinkovich, the boss man's actually joined us. It's going to make 13 cars, I feel, unless he's not in the race, but we'll have a look. We'll see how we go in quali here. See if he gets some lap time as we flick to Dylan Gray as he rolls out of the pit lane there. as they all stream out of pit lane. Actually, they're all like, "Yep, let's go and get these quali done." So this is fantastic. This is where it's a lot of fun. So we just see Dylan now coming in through that left-hander at 3. So this is the slow corner we've been talking about. Trying to get this car off. See, just a little wiggle there. You're trying to get the back square. You're trying to get the tires loaded. Everything just sitting right and pushing forward.
It's definitely a hard balance when it comes to supercars. Just trying to get as much power as you can onto the wheels, but try and keep it as straight as possible as well.
Absolutely. We'll flick to our fellow commentator, Mr. Andrew Cowan. You guys will know him from a Wednesday night, and he's quite a bit of a regular here. I know. Okay, Harlan Motorsports, I see you in the YouTube chat, Mr. David Kirby. I have driven the supercar. I'm just not the biggest fan of the supercar. I see you out there in the YouTube land. That is Steven Sinkovich there running up the inside of Andrew Cowan, just trying to get some warmth in the tyres. So it's Steven Sinkovich here in the white Mustang with the SRW paint scheme on it. Nice looking car. Look to Brett Taylor in the Valve. Looks like Commodore. I know Mr. Kirby loves the Commodore, so can't hold that against him. But no, good to see you in the chat there, Harlan Motorsport. Thank you for joining us tonight. We might actually try and get a feed off you, mate. Who's you got your pick tonight? Who's got your eye on for the race? Let's see what they come up with here. So as we see, it looks like Brad Wall's just gone. Is that purple? I think Brad Wall just set a purple sector. Tim Nicol now is throwing purple sector and green sectors as well. So these guys are just on their outlap and just getting things warmed up. Bradley Wall, Ray Oliver with a purple sector in sector 3, so he's starting to feel the groove a little bit. So yeah,
good. I did notice watching them earlier, a lot of them were like definitely getting into that groove, and they were finding that spot on the track, and they were looking pretty steady. So it's definitely going to be interesting.
So Harlan Motorsports doesn't want to put in a prediction tonight. He's got no clue. He's about to go and race Belle for East Coast Supercars. So go get him, big fella. Give us an update on your result if we're still going, or send me a DM and let me know how you go. It's Belle Isle. It's a good little racetrack. That's concrete jungle everywhere, and it's a lot of fun. I was out there in the GT4 the other night, getting ready for safety car duties, and yeah, Belle Isle definitely going to be a favourite of mine coming up. So we're riding on board here with Tim Nicol in this Pecky's livery. Oh. This is such a good little car. I love the look of this car.
Dylan Gray has just punched out his 3rd purple sector.
He is lighting up the Christmas tree right now.
Tear.
So we might jump on board with young Dylan Gray. Follow this man on his journey for a couple of years now, so it's good to see him out there competing and having a real dig at it. He was one of the drivers who warned me about that last chicane, so that's 4 purple sectors for Dylan. I don't think anyone's really blistering right now. I think Dylan might be going out, setting a quick lap, putting the banker in.
Yeah, I think everyone's on a steady pace at the moment, so just playing a little bit safe for now.
I think has he done it? He might. Yeah, he's going to finish his lap off. There you go, 204 flat. So he's going to pull this over. He's going to drop that and leave that on the board for the boys to chase now, which is quite a good lap actually. Been surprised with Dylan's consistency this season. Yeah, he's really putting it down, really showing the way in this amateur series. And like I said pre-show, I think he's definitely looking at maybe an upgrade into the big boy league, as we like to call it. You know, you're going to race with the top guns, and look, I think he'll definitely challenge those boys for sure.
Absolutely.
What do we got? We got Steven Sinkovich who's going to set a lap time as well. We'll jump on board with the boss. What's he going to lay down? He didn't. Okay. He's probably starting the lap. So we're seeing Andrew Cowan there up into P2, 2:05.15, so about 1.1 off Dylan Gray's time. So Dylan set a blistering lap. I'm pretty sure he's going to make the shootout with a 2:04. I don't think anyone's going to be rivaling that. So
that's at least a full second. That's
1.1.
That's tough to pick up.
And he's got 1.5 to Troy Dooley back here in 3. So, look, I mean, I think he's done his lap. I think he'll probably leave that in the shed until the shootout and come out and see what he can do. But yeah, the fight's going to be on. I mean, 3-4 drivers are going to miss out on that 10. Oh, Callan Hodgkinson just jumped on in as well. We'll see if Callan gets out and sets a lap. Right on board with Brock Monishead from Riot Sim Sport. That's a good looking car too. That's a nice looking paint job.
It is indeed.
He's see if he can set in blistering laps. I know Dylan Gray's gone out again. He's just done a 2:04.002. Like, or is that his best time? No, that actually might be the quality time.
That's his best
002.
lap.
That's his
Yeah.
quality time. Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad. So Tim Nicol there with all greens. We'll see where he's up to. Just coming over now. Does he elevate himself up? He does. Up into P4. He's just jumped Daniel Schultz with a 2:05.64 and Daniel Schultz with a 2:05.66. So nothing in it really. Bradley Wall. What is Bradley Wall doing out here? He's got a couple of purples and some greens. So see if Bradley Wall can jump up here. He's currently not on the timesheet, but we'll see where he puts himself and lands on the top 10 area. So you're right on board with him. He's across the line. Bradley Wall to P2, 2:04.39. Take a bow, sir. He was not happy in the pre-race. He was not happy in the practice. I was talking to him just before I come into the broadcast room here, and they weren't happy, but Dylan Gray has just gone back out and gone bang bang with 2 purple sectors again. So Dylan, mate, I think you've already embedded your lap time for the top 10. I think you can just dial it down a bit, son.
I mean, has he cooked it too early? You know, has he put all of his eggs into one basket?
The jump on the nose cam. I love this cam. This cam is so good. It's good for the battles too. You see when they're right up close behind other cars, but well, he's bailed on the lap. He just bailed out of that lap.
Oh.
Okay, so he towed the pit lane. Okay, it's interesting. Brett Taylor has got a green and orange, and he's bailed on that one. He's off the track there. So our current top 10.
It will be interesting.
John, sorry, mate.
It will be interesting to see how many other drivers end up getting that 2:04 mark.
Well, I mean, we're looking. The top 10 currently is a 2:06.5. I don't think that's going to stand. There's too many good guys in this field. Brett Taylor, Brad Mays, Callan Hodgkinson, Steven Sinkovich. Those guys haven't got laps yet. I don't know. Again, the race is on to get in that top 10 shootout, so we're going to have to look at the bubble as we sort of get down into the closing stages of the quali. We're only 9 minutes in, so we're definitely looking at a little bit of a calm before the storm, I think. I definitely think we're looking probably in that mid 2:05 range is going to be where that top 10 is going to bubble.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's a big track too, very long track. Takes a lot of concentration to keep focused around here. It's muscle memory, as you found out through iRacing, Jason. The muscle memory is something very key, and driving a car that's very loose with no aero and lots of power and a lot of corners. Yeah, muscle memory is going to be hard.
Muscle memory definitely is one of the key factors, especially for a pleb like myself that does not have load cell pedals. Definitely makes it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, no, absolutely. It's fundamental. Going down those longer straights, that is a test of mental will. How focused can you stay going down those straights to make sure that you hit those braking markers and apexes on point.
Yeah, it's really critical you mention those braking markers because these cars don't generally stop like a GT3 car. So you've got to drive these a little bit more placid, I'd say. Like you got to wind them back a little bit. You know, your brake markers increase by 50 meters, 60 meters, but you put your foot on the brake and you're like, oh yeah, I'm getting there, and all of a sudden you pinch a brake and the car just rotates. There's no, you know, we don't see the traction control, the ABS, all that kind of stuff we see in the GT3 car. So yeah, these cars, big horsepower, no aero and no grip, so a lot of fun. We jump on board with Rob Visor now, and again sitting in that P10 spot currently, and he just locks up and goes off the track. So that's how easy it is.
Absolutely cooked it.
That's exactly right. So
I can't talk. I've done that countless times myself.
I don't think there's a racer who hasn't, mate. I don't think there's a race driver who hasn't done it. You know, and if anyone's in the chat that says they haven't done it, I would like to see video proof. Thanks, because it is funny because you do get into that groove and you're feeling the car, you're feeling the track, and you know what's right, and then just out of nowhere it could just be a slight lapse of judgment and you've missed that apex just a little bit, or you've braked just too early or too late, and it just throws you off. Yeah, what you say, that muscle memory, that understanding of the car you're driving, as we see Dylan Gray just lighting up the tree again. Yeah, you kind of get used to it. You know, you're braking there, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, I could maybe go a little bit deeper. I just want to push a bit. And I want to push a little bit more. And then you feel comfortable, and then you get to a point where you go, I pushed too far.
Yeah.
And that's what we're about to see,
I've
I think.
had those Code Brown moments before.
Yeah, so Dylan Gray just comes across the line now. 2:03.7, so he's just lowered his own time. Dylan, put it in the shed, mate. Wait for the shootout. Don't waste the tyre, son. You know, but that just brings the field, you know, that's 0.6 of a second back to P2, you know, that's over half a second to Bradley Wall here. So, yeah. Look, you know, it's a dominant performance by Mr. Gray. It really is.
It's funny though, because you can see everyone starting to pitch down on the 205 and start to creep into the 204. Dylan's just going out and just smashed his own time. Taking half a second off.
Dylan's got to be careful he doesn't get on the radar though, because the guys upstairs are watching. They're watching these AMs, they're watching the Sunday night. So we were at Brands Hatch on Sunday night, and you know, like we're seeing some of these AM drivers in that Pro-Am series, and they're mixing it with the pro drivers. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of these boys move up next season.
Oh, I reckon so. It's definitely some
Brock
talent.
Mottershead jumps to P2 with a 204.35. Again, 0.04 in front of Bradley Wall on a 204.39. And this is only quali. What are we going to get on the race when these boys are door to door and swinging for the fences?
To be fair, I'm more looking forward to the shootout because, I mean, that's the time where they're really pushing.
Well, one lap by yourself on the track, you know, it's your time to shine, isn't it? It's your glory moment. And I think we'll definitely see who can push and who can't push it, and that'll give us a very good insight as to, you know, do they get the off tracks? You know, do they maybe not?
Yeah.
But so now the bubble still sits with Rob Visor there at 206.5, and Peter Pavlovich is 206.05, so he's not far out of it. Daniel Schultz here in P8, which we ride on board with now, 205.66. So again, that's not safe. I wouldn't think that from Daniel down, I don't think that's safe, dude. I think that could really juggle around a little bit. You know, Brad May still hasn't set a lap time. Callan Hodgkinson, I'm not sure he's in the quali server. I think he might just jump in the race server. And Steven Sinkovich hasn't set a lap time either. As we see Boss Man there, just not setting a lap. I think he just keeps getting those little off tracks and he just keeps resetting the lap on himself. Yeah, off tracks hurt, mate. Off tracks hurt during quali.
They sure do.
Are you better to try and push, do you think, or are you better just to try and get that banking lap? Just give yourself a time, get a time in the book, and then go after it from there. Like, do you think it's better to get out?
I would say, yeah, during quali, you want that. You want a solid lap, but you don't want to push it. You know, because there's only 14 here at the moment. It's not devastating. You know, if you end up sort of mid-pack, you know, during quali. So, you know, you push it during top 10 shootout, and you know, you either walk away with a really great lap, or you just cook it into a fence. It's just, I mean, that's the threat of it all.
Yeah, you do make a good point. You do make that good point.
I would just set a decent, solid lap in quali, and then just push it in the top 10.
Yeah, so, you know, just covering that off. So we've got Brett Taylor in 11. That gives us Brad Mays, Colin Hodgkinson, and Stephen Sinkovich. That gives us another 3. So that gives us 14 drivers. So if you don't necessarily make the shootout, it's not detrimental. You know, you're not starting 25th, 30th. You know, you're not out of it by any stretch of imagination.
Yeah.
But you definitely want to try and show that you're there to compete. You don't want to, you know, you don't want to show your hand too early. Like I think young Dylan Grayson, I think he's kind of shown his hand too early, and just on boys, you know, I'm fast. I think, you know, he might have shown his hand a little bit early, but I think someone like Brock Morrishead here, seeing Brock flash up a couple of purple sectors and just, you know, tweak away at it. I think he might have a little bit of something for the shootout, and I definitely think
I definitely
your top five, your top five are definitely going to. You know, have a little bit left in the tank. They're not going to go and throw it all on the line right now. You see Ray Oliver in P6 right now.
Like they are punching out good laps. They do look very solid out there. You know, half of them are probably playing it relatively safe. Again, you know, if there were 30 cars on the track, that's a different story. You know, you'd probably try and push a bit higher up in the qualities.
Just jump aboard here with Troy Dooley. He's got 2 greens and a purple, so this is a stellar lap. This could elevate him quite a fair way. Now remember, he's only 0.04 away from P2, so he's maybe made a bit of a tweak in the car, in the setup change, and he's come back out. And as we're heading the last 11 minutes, 12 minutes of quality, we see three green and a purple sector, so this could be an absolute ripping lap from Troy.
He's looking pretty solid out there.
This is section here. This is section. He's got to keep it clean there. Didn't get the off track. Just get the power down now. Get across the line. What is he going to do? Where's he going to sit himself? No. Didn't improve. Unfortunate there for Troy. That was a good lap too. He was looking really good there. I think it was the last sector.
Missed that first apex of the chicane though, so that definitely cost him a bit.
I think he's found something though. He might have just found something in his setup there that he can measure. We see Callum Hodgkinson now on circuit as well. It's fantastic to see Callum out. Stephen Sinkovich still hasn't set a time yet either, so again, we'll have to see if he can. Oh, we see that. It's just getting that power down. It doesn't like it. It doesn't like to get back to full throttle and get the power down on those tires.
Yeah, it's a definite balancing act.
Oh, he's still wiggling, and he's got the grass there. So.
Yeah, because you don't want to have like a twitchy foot, or just sort of you don't want to jolt just a little bit too much on the throttle, or otherwise it will just kick out immediately.
Tim Nicol here with the green sector. Steven Sinkovic might be on a bit of a lap here as well. We'll just flick back to Boss Man. Green sector, and he just stumbled on himself. Get the lap set, Steven. Get it finished, mate. Get it over there.
Well, it does seem to be a recurring theme going through that chicane. Missing that first apex.
Yeah, I did have it on pretty hot authority that is going to be a hot spot tonight. Talking to a couple of drivers before the race tonight, and they were definitely concerned about that last chicane. So we just saw it from Stephen there. Just a bit of a lock-up going in there. And yeah, just threw it around a little bit. Tim Nicholls just improved his time there with a 2:04.58, jumps up to a P5. That puts Andrew Cowler down into P6 now, and that changes the top 10 just a little bit. You know, and again, obviously, you know, if you're first in quali, you're the last out in the top 10 shootouts. A lot of pressure. So again, you know, would you want to be first? Would you want to be Rob Weiser, first heading out in the shootout at the moment, or would you want to be Dylan Gray? Or would you want to be somewhere in the middle, Dave? What would you want to do?
Again, this comes down to just punching out, you know, a fairly decent solid lap during quality, and then just putting your all into it. Oh,
getting a little sideways. I think I'd rather go out first. Expression session.
Yeah, he's just having a bit of fun now.
Into the old, I think that's the old pit lane now, I'm not sure. That might have been the current one. I did see the witches' hats there though, so.
Yeah, just putting out that solid quality and then just giving it your all on the shootout.
Actually, something else while we've got a little bit of a lull in the action on the track, something to talk about. This Thursday in SRW Worlds, we have the Bathurst Jump Expression Session coming up live before the Toyota GR86s on Thursday night. So if you're not doing anything, guys, get in there, have some fun, come jump some cars at Bathurst. I've got it on pretty good authority that it's V8 GT3 Radical, and I believe the Pro 2 light truck. So it could be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of these sessions brought to the Thursday night window of SRW, so be sure to check that out. Thursday night, come and have a jump, come in the chat, hang out with us, or even put your hand up to come and join as a special guest commentator. I'd love to hear some new voices in the box and have a bit of fun on that Thursday night. It would be fantastic to see. It's going to be a great spectacle as we jump on board now with Callum Hodgkinson coming out and firing 2 green sectors at it. Hasn't got a time set, so this could elevate it. Where are we expecting to see Callum Leahey, do you think, Jace? Inside the 10?
3 greens. I think it's a pretty good chance it'll be inside the 10. Depending on how bad that first sector was, I guess.
He would come up to this tricky chicane, though. He's through it. He's through it pretty good there. See Troy Dillon with the purple sector there as well. So what's he do? Callum comes over the line.
That was a solid.
That's going to elevate him in. He must. Did he get an off track? He must have got an off track.
Must have.
No way.
That could have been in the first sector.
You see Troy
I didn't see anything at the end.
Finish off. Maybe he's just overcooked that last corner too.
Possibly.
Troy Dooley jumps into P2 with a 2:04.12. That's a good lap. That's the times are going to start tumbling now. I think we're in the last 5.5 minutes of the quality session. Rob Weiser still in P10. He's still holding on with that 2:06.5. Peter Pavlovich 2:06.05 is back out on circuit now. I think those. Oh mate, I'm not sure. I think one of those guys might drop down. If Cullen can get a lap together, I think he can definitely drop in there. And Steven Sinkovic again still hasn't got a lap set, so let's watch the timing table here, people, as we get going. Dylan Gray's back out on circuit as well. The only ones in pit lane are Brad Wall and Tim Nicholls, so I'll be interested to see if we can get like a last-minute dash here and sort of really blow up the timetable.
Yeah, we haven't really seen anything spectacular times-wise from half of these guys. They're not really pulling any green sectors, so they could just be playing it safe.
Callum with 2 greens. We just mentioned young Callum here. He's got 2 green sectors. See if he can get this lap finished off. He was in there deep. It looked like, was he about 200, 150 thereabouts into that corner there? That's a good run. Jump on his nose cam and go and have a look as we come through this final section again. This chicane, oh, he's wide. Slow him down. He was wide, but it might be a tactic. It might be a little bit wider there so you can get the nose pointed just for this section here. What's Cullen got for us? For the P12, 20972. Okay. Okay.
It is time.
That is something there. It's we'll have to keep our eyes on that. Brett Taylor's now with 2 green as well. Can he elevate himself above Rob Visor and get into the P10? And maybe make the shootout. 2 green as he approaches his final sector. You can see he's just a little bit wide on turn in. And then a little shallow there, but trying to square off that second chicane. Just trying to square it off and get the drive out. Does he have enough? No, he doesn't. Doesn't have enough. Steven Sinkovich now. The green sector, can he get the lap time set? Can he make the 10? This would be good for Steve. Oh, that's not going to help the lap time.
Nope.
Good slide for a Steve, but unfortunately that's not the way you want to get a fast lap time, mate. Forwards is better, sideways is slow.
That will not get you there. Yeah. I'm just riding on board with Callum at the moment, just checking out his lap. He's definitely having a lot of trouble with the just controlling the throttle.
Yeah, we see that with these cars. They're very sensitive to input. You've got to be very gentle. You've got to roll in the throttle. You can't jump on it. You jump on it, you just explode the back end, and the tyres just go left, right, and all over the place. And it's very, very handsome. But we do see the 2 green sectors, so they're good sectors for Cullen. So this could still elevate him. He's not far off the pace though. He needs a second. Andrew Cowan
is definitely struggling to keep it straight though. So definitely keep an eye on that.
You jump on board with him here on gyro. You'll see how he finishes this lap off. There's pit entry just there on his right. He's going to get in here. That's a good entry. Run through there. Oh, you see the wheel work. You just see, that might be a touch wide. I don't know. Does it elevate him? Brings him up? No. No, it doesn't. Last minute and a half, we're into the 90-second window, and the top 10 is currently Dylan Gray, Troy Dooley, Brock Mottershead, Brad Wall, Tim Nicol, Andrew Cowan, Ray Oliver, Daniel Schwartz, Peter Pavlovich, and Rob Weiser. Peter Pavlovich here with just a green sector as well. We'll jump on board to a KFC mobile. See if we can finish the lap off. I would definitely, in Pete's spot, I would definitely want to try and push my time up a little bit just to make it safe for the top 10, because being P9, any one of those guys underneath him could drop a lap time and push him down. So jump on board with Pete and have a bit of a look. Get used to this camera here, guys. This is what we're going to be using for the shootout. We'll be right on board with these guys. We'll see all their wheel work and where they hit their apexes and stuff like that from the passenger seat. So this is going to be an electrifying shootout. Get into the last 40 seconds. Did Peter Pavlovich improve his time? He does slightly, 206.05. That's a nice lap. Anybody on the lap? Brock Mottershead's got a green sector and an orange. Brett Taylor's got a green there. Thanks, this shootout's going to be very, very exciting.
It's going to be a hot one, that's for sure.
Pavlovich is gone again.
Will be
He's just got a green sector in sector 1.
It will be interesting to see who in the list does decide to just give it a good hard push.
Oh, Kellen might have just got... Oh, he might have got away with that. He might not have. I think I might have just hurt the car a little. He was very slow in that second part. Does he come up, though?
Does not.
No, it doesn't look like it. I think that's almost going to do it. Jump on board to Ray Oliver, the green sector in Sector 2. Peter Pavlovich has got a green in 1. We'll see what Ray can do here. We'll take a bit of a look at what his inputs are. He's nice and smooth. One thing I like about Ray is just... He reminds me of Silk. He's just so smooth and everything he does is just... Oh, I'll say that, and he gets a little wiggle.
Well,
and
look what you've
commentator's curse in the fence. Sorry, Ray. Oh no!
Way to go!
Unlucky. That was a good lap too. So we'll flick over to Peter as he's getting a little bit sideways and into pit lane. So I think that's going to wrap us up. So into our shootout, we're going to have Rob Weiser first off the kit, Peter Pavlovich, Daniel Schultz, Ray Oliver, Andrew Cowan, Tim Nicol, Bradley Wall, Brock Mottershead, Troy Dooley, and last man for the shootout is going to be young Dylan Gray. So this is going to be electric, guys. Stand by. We are going to throw to an intermission break right now. We're going to go over to the shootout, and when we come back, hopefully some live action of some shootout cars. So stand by, and we'll see you soon. All right, folks, we are back, and we are looking at Rob Weiser sitting in pit lane, ready to get his shootout lap started. Jace, first shootout, mate, on the combox. This is going to be fun.
I'm excited as ever.
I
do enjoy a good shootout. No, I do enjoy a good shootout because it is a very high intensity moment. You know, before the big race.
Yeah, totally. I mean, look, he's got to get out. He's got to get some warmth in the tyres. He's got to get the car stable. He's got to feel comfortable. He's got to know where his grip levels are. Because when you come into turn 1 and you turn that wheel in your shootout lap, the one thing you don't want is understeer. That's a race car driver's worst enemy. So this will be
that's definitely something you don't
interesting.
want.
So as we just see Rob Weiser creeping a little bit, let's have a bit of a look around the circuit. We'll take you guys around. So we'll this will be our starting camp. We see Barney up there on the tower. Hey, Barney, give us a wave. Or not. Either way.
Lazy.
Down into Abbey. So this is turn 1. We can see Rob just sitting there at the end of pit lane. Come through the village. Now this is turn 3. So this is one of the hotspots that we've been talking about throughout the night. Trying to get the drive into this, or out of this, I should say, is a big issue. Down through the loop, so again, that's going to be, you know, flick back and out of the same thing. As we bounce through Aintree, Brooklyn's there, so we'll see them come down the straight into that left-handed kink. Lawfield is where the left-right combination brings you back around to the old pit area was. Oh, and that's just changed me. That's because we've got, looks like Rob's coming out, is he? No, they've skipped the server forward. Okay.
No.
They've skipped the server forward. Can't get to cops right now because Rob's not out. But yes, so anyway. Rob Weiser in the 360 will be our first man out on track. We'll get there live with him now. No, you haven't missed the top 10, Shibby Howard, our other producer. We are going into the shootout right now. We're just starting it off, actually. So welcome on into the YouTube chat. I'll see you out there in the world of YouTubes. Rob's just sitting
there. Shibby, I've replaced you, mate.
Yeah. No, Shibby's our main producer, so I haven't replaced him yet.
No.
But yeah, we just see Rob waiting for the race control command to exit pit lane, so we'll ride on board with him now. Yeah, Shibby, top 10, just going in our first car on track, Rob Weiser. Looking very sharp out there. We'll just have to see how he warms up his car, gets the tyres up, see if he does a lot of weaving, a lot of braking, like trying to get the weight on the front, see what he does here. Because as we said, understeer in turn 1.
A lot of these corners are like hard left, hard right, hard left.
Yeah.
So you're really throwing that car around.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
You don't want to give it too much.
Yeah. There is that aspect of this track where it feels like it flows. It really does. Silverstone feels like it's got a lot of flow to it, but when you really sit down with it, it is very stop-start. There is a lot of slow corners, but high-speed entries. Really high-speed entries. Yeah. And it just makes that braking zone and getting the car to stop and turn just that much more difficult. So, watching Rob come through. This is maggots up the top here. So this is like a left, right, left combination. And this second left is a little bit tighter too. It kind of bites up a little bit. And then we'll see him come down through. We just see him at the top of the screen there, coming under the footbridge. There's the Porsche Center. And then following around for the rest of the lap. So we see on the track map now, he's just coming down into that, what is the tricky last set of S's. We come through the right-hander and flick left and just high-speed run down into this watch this set of S's here. Now, this has been driver's hotspot all night. They're being very, very cautious there. So as we see him now, we're going to jump on board the gyro cam. Let's get after a lap with Rob Visor. We'll see what his turn-in's like here at One Hill. Common grip level he's got. Fast entry. It's nice and smooth.
Looking solid.
Looks like he's got a bit of grip in that car now. So this is the hot spot right here. Into 3. How hard do you press into 3? You got to get the drive now up into 4. Flick left. Oh, a little understeer there. Hard on the throttle now. Hard on the throttle through. This corner's full throttle. Run down the back straight here.
Purple sector though.
He's the first car on track though, so it's session best. Braking into this fast. This is kind of an elusive left-hander. It is fast, but it's not. And then you got to get on the brakes again, slow it down, and get on this long right-hand corner. This corner can be so difficult. And oh, did he? Oh, he just saved it. He just avoided the off-track, so he gets the old run through what was the old starting grid. Pressing up here. This is a fast corner. Good flow. Look at the steering wheel. There's not a lot of opposite lock. There's not a lot of catching this slide, so he's obviously feeling the track right now. Coming up through maggots here. Left, right. He's gonna... Oh, no. And just like that, there goes the lap. So, unfortunately, Rob's gonna bin that one. We might actually drag him in and have a chat with him while he rolls out of this lap. Should we drag him in? Oh, we might actually let him finish off the lap, I think. Actually, let's drag him. Lap's over. Hey, Rob, you're in the comm box, mate. What happened now there on that lap? Looking really good.
Yeah, I wish I'd finished the lap.
What happened? You just got a little bit greedy there, or just understeered? Tyres went quite over to temp, or what was going on?
Sorry guys, could hardly hear it. Yeah, well, I was going nice and smooth and then no good at the end.
Yeah,
Nearly got there anyway.
Well, I mean, worst case, P10 start. Nothing too bad from there. You happy with race trim? You keen to get in the race?
Yeah, no, happy to be 10 actually, to be honest.
Yeah, nice. Alright. Well, we'll throw you back, mate, as we ride on board with Peter Pavlovich for his shootout lap, and good luck in the race.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Alright, so we move over to Peter Pavlovich. Is he warming up still? Looks like he is, yeah.
He is, yes.
He's not, yeah, no time, so he's warming up. So Peter Pavlovich in our KFC mobile. Shibby in the chat. This corner's full throttle. Shibby exits track. Yes, at very high speed, Shibby. Yes, I've seen you driving. Yes, very interesting. So we see Peter Pavlovich again on this outlap. Again, you want to find where the grip threshold is. Oh, looking really smooth through there. Now this, we're going to be talking about this all night, Jason. This chicane here, this left-right on the start-finish line is an absolute pain for these guys to get right. But we jump on board now.
I think, just quickly, I think during the race, that chicane is going to collect a lot of people.
Oh, for sure. We'll see him come through one. Let's watch the steering input. Very smooth, no big slide. Again, how does he get into turn 3 here? This is a problem hotspot. It's slow, it's tight. Again, you've got to get the gas to get out and get back into another slow corner. Good job there. Peter Pavlovich looking really good. Green sector. Oh, he runs it right out on the edge. Takes all the track limits that he can. Down into this fast left that tightens a little bit, so he'll be fighting this car a little bit, I think, right now. Trying to get it in. Turns right. Holds it. Looks really good come off there. Not a big slide. That's a really nice looking corner there.
That was.
As he powers up, 5th gear, 6th gear. Back into 5th, 3rd, as he approaches a little right-hand sweeper. As he now approaches the maggot, so it's going to be the left, right combination, so clips that curve. It's in here. He's going to tighten this left-hander. Then he's going to get the exit here. This will give him a good run down into this last little window. But we've got 2 purples, again, 2 session best, so a little bit quicker there than what Rob was.
He is looking very smooth out there at the moment.
Oh, for sure, he definitely, inputs are really smooth. Not a lot of catching a slide, so maybe it's just a bank lap. Maybe it's just a case of, look, I'm into 10, I just want to get a lap in and see where I finalise it. Last chicane here, left. Get it right, Peter. Get it out. Run it wide. Cut down. And he gets the lap done. Where's that going to put him? That's going to put him P1 with a 2:05.97. Let's drag in Mr. Peter Pavlovich. So good lap. Take us through that. How was it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Just wanted to set a nice clean lap, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, well, worst case start.
Yeah.
But you're still in the 10, so I mean it can't be all bad, can it? When there's only 14 cars
Exactly. Exactly. It's not too bad. So at least I did better than last week.
Yeah, it looked like you were playing it pretty safe out there.
Would you say you were playing it safe there, Peter?
At least it was a better lap than last week. Counted, so that's always good.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, look, we'll throw you back into the briefing room. But good luck out there tonight. Go get them, and hopefully we'll chat to you after the race. All right. That was Peter Pavlovich. Looks like comms might have been a little sketchy there. Daniel Schultz, our next runner with Team SRW. Paint scheme on. Grim Industries on the car. On the bonnet there, Warren Brown Tools, our sponsors for the series. Big shout out to those guys while we're watching this warm-up lap here with Warren Brown Tools, Toyo Sim, Grim Industries, Racecraft, and our Sunday sponsor of Simrig. So thank you so much. We appreciate it and can't do it without you guys. As we now see Daniel Schultz get started on his lap. Now, he wasn't very comfortable in practice earlier. I was talking to him and he just wasn't enjoying this one little bit. So this is interesting. Let's see how he goes. How's the grip level? How's the braking turn-in levels? What's he got? Well, he was back to first gear there where Peter was second, so it might be a bit of an indication tyres aren't quite up to temperature yet, Jace.
Yeah, it looks like it. He's not fighting the wheel, so I mean that's bonus points for that.
Let's see, green first sector, purple in the second sector, so he's faster in the second sector. So maybe just pressing on. We'll see what he can do now with sector 3 as we're riding on board. He's got a little fight with that front end. The front end doesn't want to pick up. Really doesn't want to pick up. Tyres might come on a little later in the lap though, like it depends on how he phases the car in. So through the fast right, 4th gear there where we saw Peter was 3rd gear, so maybe the tyres have just come up on him, or maybe he's just pushing a little bit harder. In through maggots here, left, right.
Another purple sector, it looks like he's giving a little bit of a push.
So remember, he's qualified P8, so anywhere in front of that would be a really good step up for Dan at the start of this race. So see how he goes now. Down into the fast right-hand corner before the slow S's. Up to it's a green sector. Oh, he just caught that mid corner. Just had a little slide on him.
I think it's going to come down to the chicane.
Get through here clean. In and out. Oh, has he just had a little shake? Oh, catch it. Oh, he's got it. Has he done it? He's gone purple. 2:05.86. very nice lap
I mean,
there. Let's drag Dan into the room. Dan Schultz, mate, what a lap, 2:05.86. How was it out there? Looked a bit slippery there at the start.
Yeah, she's a bit how's it going when you're on your out lap there? Not great. I don't think I had the tyres up to 10 for the first sector. Cost me a fair bit, I think.
yeah, so what was happening at the end there? You looked like you were getting a bit sketchy.
Yeah, I had to make up some time, so I just thought, you know what, it's either win it or bin it here, so pushed as hard as I could and it paid off.
How are you looking on the race trim, Dan? Are you confident with the race trim?
Race trim, I've actually loaded the wrong setup. I was using my race set, so... yeah. So, that time that you see there is pretty much going to be me race laps, unfortunately.
Blame the crew chief, mate. Sack him and get a new one.
Oh, he's already out. He's in the boat. He's done.
Excellent. Mate, we'll throw you back into the wilds and we'll hopefully talk to you after the race. Good luck out there.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
All right, we jump on board with Ray Oliver now as he starts his lap. Again, watched his warm-up lap there. He was doing a little bit of work on those tyres.
Was.
We'll see what he's like in the one. Oh, look, he's got a little bit more input. I think the tyres are quiet there yet. So he got into 3. Second gear in there, not first gear like we saw Dan Schultz, but let's see what the sector comes up with. Ray Oliver, purple sector 1, that's fast. That's a good lap. Oh, good sector, good start to lap, I should say. See how he gets down in here, like, with the steering inputs. Yeah, look, it's a different car now, isn't it? It's not that point, that front end is just got the temperatures in it now. It's not quite as understeer. He's not fighting it quite as much. Ray Oliver with another purple sector in sector 2, so this is definitely going to push Ray up and make the time very, very challengeable. I mean, the pressure's going to be on these guys looking at this lap going. He's just done like 2 or 3 purple sectors. Like, you know, how much does that induce people pushing for the next lap, do you think, Jason?
Yeah. I mean, currently the
3 purple sectors.
fastest lap is 2:05, which was basically mid-pack, you know, during quali. So, I mean, all you've got to do is just give it a little bit more push, and you're in a decent spot. I mean, even mid-10, it's still good.
With this 4 purple sectors.
Another purple.
So he's on this lap, I think. Oh, just a little bit on the throttle. That's all right. Maybe cost him a 10th. Nothing too major. Can he get through these S's here and get the lap done? Gets it up on a little bit of 2-wheel action there.
Yeah, that section's make or break.
As he gets the power down. Oh, he's just sliding there. Gets across the line. Oh, 2:04.82.
Here we go.
Let's get Mr. Ray Oliver into the room. Ray, you're in the comm box, mate. Take us through your lap. That was awesome.
A little bit surprised by the lap time.
What, too fast, you think, or a bit too slow?
A little bit too fast than what I've been doing, so I think my first lap around here, so I'll take it.
Hey, that was a good lap, mate. We're watching on board. It was good.
Yeah, just you know what it's like when you sort of just trying to put something together and you don't really register what you're actually doing. So you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, time is there, so I'm happy.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, no, you're looking pretty solid out there.
Just got to try and hook it up for the full race. That's going to be the fun part.
I was going to say, you comfortable for the race or not really?
It's a bit like Brands Hatch last week. I think it's going to be a case of survival because the tyre deck's going to be pretty high.
Well, mate, good luck out there tonight, and hopefully we'll chat to you after the race.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks, Ray. Throwing back, and we'll jump straight on board with Andrew Cowan, our commentator, and member here in SRW. Let's see what he can throw down. See what his inputs are like here, Jason. See just where his tyre temps are at.
I mean, he's already looking pretty solid. We'll see how he goes coming out of this corner.
Yeah, 3 and 4 are going to be a tight setup on maybe. The very Oh, he just got a little bit
Bit of a-
loose. Purple
Bit of a
sector.
kick there, but it's nothing too bad.
It's a
I mean,
purple sector.
He's pretty solid. So I wouldn't be too worried right now.
And a green sector 2. So, okay, maybe lost a little bit of time there, but that might be up on his personal best sector, so that might be a bit of insight for him to kind of get after a little bit. What's he doing in sector 3 though? Can he make that time back up? I mean, we just heard from Ray that he was a little bit surprised with his lap, so we saw the 204s was about the top sort of 3 or 4, so be interesting to see where that lands. Ray, but as Andrew comes down to complete sector 3, it's another green box. So he's still up. He's still there on time. He's not doing too bad.
I'd love to see some low 204s from the lads. Just to really give Dylan a bit of a run for his money. Right?
We see this is the pressure point, isn't it? Because he's the last out. He's the last car in the shootout. He's going to see these times. He's going to know what he's got to be. Does he overcook the lap and push too hard? That's the question. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Cowan looking really good here. That was a nice exit. This is the tricky spot though. How does he get in and out of this set of S's here? In rather nice. Out even better.
Good.
That's looking real good with a back purple on that 4 and green P5. Andrew Cowan into P2. Let's drag him in. Mr. Cowie into P2 with a 204.84. Mate, take us through the lap.
Thanks, mate. No, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't as grippy as the qualifying session before, so I just softened the bars by 1, and that seemed to sort of help me get it turned in. But it's sort of one of those things that if you don't stuff up the first half of the lap, then the second half you maybe try to make sure it counts. So maybe a little bit more there, but I'm pretty happy with that.
You're right behind Ray Oliver there, so you boys have been kind of there and thereabouts pretty much most of the season, so it'll be interesting to see how he's go tonight. How's race pace looking?
Yeah, look, not too bad. I was experimenting whether or not clutching it in and saving fuel is going to be an issue around here. I think it's only going to gain you 1 lap, and it's probably not close enough to really turn it into a single stopper. So yeah, it should be interesting to see if anyone goes down that road or if you can save a bit behind some traffic.
All right, mate. Well, good luck out there tonight. We'll throw you back to the briefing room, and hopefully we'll chat to you later on.
No worries. Thanks, boys. Good luck with the call.
All right. Riding on board now with Tim Nicol in the Pecky's livery. Let's see what he can get to in turn 1 here. Has he already got an off-road? No, surely not.
And not sure. No. He's good.
No, he's good. There we go. Yeah, it's just had a little bubble there. Purple sector 1, so he's already far, and sector 2, so he's quick.
2. All right. Now we're getting into
So
it.
now I think we might start seeing the 204s challenged into maybe 3s. Maybe Tim's just saved something for the shootout. Well, he did say in the practice he was looking quick. He was starting to come on. He was setting some purple sectors, but he didn't really throw the lap down. I think he did just enough. Make the shootout. Maybe leave it on the line out here. So we'll see what's sector 3 here. Off the back of the fast right. We'll go through sector 3. And it's a green. That's still going to put him up.
That's not bad.
Oh, he's
Yeah, I can see this being like a mid 204.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Depends on what he can get through and how his grip is in that last corner. That's going to be the issue. It's that last set of set of S's that make it really hard. So
It's not a purple sector. He's not fighting the wheel, so that's a good sign.
yeah, I was going to say that he's really smooth on the inputs. As we come down here, just flips that curve, gets it turned right. Looks really stable through there. Through the
Very
last.
stable.
Oh, it's sliding now. He's trying to get on the gas.
Yeah. trying to push it
As
at
he
the end
goes
there.
to the top.
Oh, he's done it.
Let's bring Tim in. Tim, straight to provisional pole, mate. Well done. What a lap. Take us through it.
Thanks, guys. This track's really tricky, so we did a bit of a prep talk in the briefing room to do a nice, easy out lap, which I think helped for me in this one. And that's about 10th quicker than what I went in pre-qual. So, happy with it. This track's always a battle. It's harsh on tyres, so we'll see how we go through the race. And good luck.
You comfortable in race trim, mate, out there tonight?
Say again?
Are you comfortable in race trim out there tonight?
I think I just got to stay safe and try and not get too many off tracks. It's pretty easy to do that. So but we'll see. First couple of corners are going to be pretty hectic with the boys, so just stay out of trouble.
All right, mate. Well, good luck out there tonight, and hopefully we'll catch you after the race.
No worries. Cheers, guys. Thank you
Thanks,
very
Tim.
much.
All right, we'll move on to Mr. Bradley Wall. As he starts his hot lap, Jason Douglas over in the YouTube chat. That's the problem with iRacing. If you just go over the line, you get pinged, but in real life, it doesn't matter. That's the thing, but I mean, they've got to keep some sort of limits in place to keep people from, I guess, abusing the privilege of having no track limit as well. So, Bradley Wall looking really
even
good in there.
extending the track limit by, 20 centimeters, you're going to knock off.
Green
100th
first
of a second.
sector. Yeah, green first sector for Bradley Wall. We'll have to see how he's looking. He's looking like he's having a couple of dibs in the corner, doesn't he? He's not quite got the front of the car pointed. Oh, it's purple sector 2 though. He is quick. So maybe he's gotten better drive off that slow turn 4 and down through 5 and in through that 6. So we'll have to see now as he comes through the fast right here in the old starting grid, as we see all the painted lines and stuff. Down, let's see, was he in 4th there? Yeah, 4th gear. Runs a little bit wide as we come through sector 3. What's he got? He's got a green. This could get him to the top. This could get him to the top. Let's watch him as he comes through that fine. It's that back end of that chicane though, isn't it, Jason? We've seen it. They just try and get the power down and the car gets all squirrely and see what he can do here.
Shave off a little bit of time so you push down the throttle.
Push too hard. Oh, good
Like that.
slide, good catch. Purple sector too, so that might affect here. Though this is slow, so it's not maybe going to have too much an effect, but we'll have a look. Brad Wall, as he comes across the stripe. Brad Wall into P4, let's drag him in. Hey Brad, provisional P4 mate, take us through the lap.
Going alright to start off with, and then sort of lost my nerve halfway through it. And then I tried to make up and got a bit loose, and end result was not good.
We see you put a 204.92 down, so you're still in the 4s, so how's race pace looking?
Not too bad, I don't
Not too bad.
think. I haven't done too much race practice yet, so
Excellent.
just sort of try and keep the nose clean and pull another decent finish out again.
Yeah, right. Well, good luck out there tonight, mate. Hopefully we'll chat to you after the race and go get it, mate.
Thanks, mate. That'll be good.
Thanks, Brad.
Have a good one.
Right, that was Mr. Brad Wall. We see Brock Mottershead now in the right stim livery coming around through the S's. We'll jump in board with him now. So we get a look at what he's doing on the wheel and how much grip he's got in the front of the car.
He was looking pretty solid going through those last few corners. So
Jason Douglas has just asked, can we do a top 10 in the 86s? Now that would be a spectacle. Those cars are something else. I don't know, Jace, you got to talk to the admins, mate. I mean, I'm down for it. I mean, since I'm on the production anyway, I'm always down to see top 10. It's a lot of fun, and I love these top 10 shootouts. You just driver and track, mate. There's no effect, there's no slipstream, there's no drafting, there's no nothing. It's just outright driving, and I love it. I love the top 10s.
It's just a showcase of skill, really, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. We see Rocky with 2 green boxes. Now, we did see him playing with the timing sheet during quali as well, so what's he got for the shootout? Tim Nichols still provisional pole. So, you know, and only one car non-lapping, so that was Rob Weiser got that off track. So we'll have to see what Brock can do here. He's 2 green boxes, no purples yet, so might be a solid, you know, top 4. Greggy Lee, what's going on, mate? Welcome on into the YouTube chat. It is, it's 3 green boxes, so this is definitely good for Brock's. See, the car just doesn't unload there on that change of direction. That was really nice. That might give us an insight into what the back chicane is going to be for him here. Greg Lee, good to see you on the YouTube channel, mate. Thanks for tuning in. We're about halfway through, a little bit over halfway through our shootout for Silverstone and our V8 Amateur Series. So. Comes in now.
It comes down to these S's. I think it all comes. Whoa!
Got a lot of air under the side of that car.
It's all going to come down to having an extremely smooth line through there. Not necessarily going fast.
P2. Let's get Brock into the room. Brock Monteshead, provisional P2, mate. Take us through that lap. That looked quick.
Rubbish.
Come on.
Not really.
That was rubbish. I'd love to be rubbish.
Yeah, no, I'm not actually happy with it, but it'll do for now.
You think
hopefully no one can beat it.
Is there more time to cut?
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely had a heap of understeer and then a bit of oversteer on one of those last corners there. So I think yeah, I can definitely go quicker.
So is it the car or is it the driver, mate?
Oh, definitely the driver. I've had no practice this Arvo, so. And this is actually the first time I've driven with this setup that lap, so. Yeah.
Didn't do too bad then, must say.
Yeah, considering I've done all right, but I definitely think I could have done better with a bit more practice, but. Yeah, can't always have that.
Well, good luck out there tonight, mate. We'll throw you back into the briefing room, and yeah, let's hope we get to chat to you after the race.
Thanks, mate. See ya.
Thanks, Rob. All right, as we go on board with Troy Dooley. Oh dear. Just catch that big slide there in 4 like that. That's going to hurt the lap. It's still green, but it's going to make it very difficult because it's going to make this next sector is going to hurt a lot from that. No grip into that. That straight.
Yeah, he just did not have that grip at the front end. You can just tell it was sliding out.
A bit unfortunate, but we'll see what he can do. I mean, you can still salvage these laps, you know. You can kind of get the momentum back if you can swing it around and you just make a few tenths here and there. You can always get back. I mean, it is an orange sector, so he's not going to challenge the top time, but he can definitely get himself up there.
I mean, you can always run a very solid half first lap, and then just as everything warms up,
Oh, you see, look, there's a green.
You're all in the second half.
There's a green. This is our second last runner. Dylan Gray's on circuit, warming up. But as we continue riding here with Troy Dooley, what can he pull in sector 4 here? Can he get another green and maybe challenge that top 2 or 3? It is a green sector. That hasn't hurt his time too much, so... But here it comes, Jason. This is it, mate. Right here, it's make or break this set of corners right here, isn't it?
I mean, he's looked pretty clean up until this point.
What's he got? That's a really good exit. And he's going to cut it. Oh, he's just sliding. Oh,
he's
just over baked it.
It seems to be the thing at the moment.
P6, so that's a drop for Troy. Let's drag him in. Mr. Troy Dooley, we got you on the comms. I see you're muted and deafened. I'm guessing we do not have him on comms.
It is a shame.
Would have been...
But like coming out of that last corner, we're definitely seeing the lads pushing just a little bit harder to try and make up. Just a few hundredths of a second.
We'll throw Troy back to the briefing room there. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chat with Troy, but again, good luck out there, mate. And again, we hope we can catch you after the race for a post-chat. Right, here he is. Now, if our special guest commentator wanted to jump in on this one, I know he's got a lot to say about this young man. This young fella, Dylan Gray, has been definitely ringing the alarm bells to the admin. So we saw him the only car in the threes. He sees the top time of a 204.44. Oh, what does he do? Does he go hard at it, or does he try and give himself just a banker here? I think I know what he's going to do. I think I know Dylan Gray enough to know that he's going to send this, and it's either going to be win it or bin it.
Absolutely. I mean, if I was Dylan and I'd set the fastest lap in the quality, I would just go absolutely ham around this lap.
He is now part of LMR Esports, so he's definitely got the team backing. So this will be pretty good. I wonder if he's got someone in his ears, because that is a green first sector. So he's not challenged the top time in sector 1, but that doesn't mean much. We saw a couple of the other boys sort of have a crack at it. And the top 10 has been mixed up too. He's deep in there, isn't he? He wasn't pulling that car up very quick. And swing back around to the right here. He's got the Shell V-Power suit on by the look of it. Swing through the fast right. Now. Purple sector, sector 2. Is he about to light up the timing table? Dylan Gray now through.
We'll see at 203 though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, the car looks gripped up. It looks like it's got a lot of front end on it, so that's really good. So, the question is, does the driver have the 203? We know the car's got it. We've seen it already tonight. But does the car have it in him? Chase Douglas and there, go Dylan, again part of the LMR Esports crew. So, again, good to have you on board, Jace. And that's a green sector in 3. He comes through sector 4, another green. This is there.
Biggest question, can he pull ahead of the 204.438?
Here's those S's, mate. It's coming. It's make or break now for young Dylan Gray as he gets in here. He was complaining today about these off tracks here, so he's got to be careful. Run it out, son. Run it out. Oh, he's got it. Has he done enough? Dylan Gray at the top with a 203.88. Dylan Gray, this is becoming too regular, mate. Talking to you, top qualifier, 203.88. Mate, congratulations. Take us through the lap. How was it?
It was a bit slippery on the out lap, and I just worked the brakes a bit more, and then I went, before I even left pit lane, I went, I'll take some fuel out. But instead of having like 5 laps worth of fuel, I only put in 3 laps. So it was a bit quicker.
Cheeky, love it.
I did have a purple on my all-time best through section 5 of the track. I went up 0.01, which still counts.
Yeah, right. How are you looking under race pace, mate?
Race pace, I think I can do. I'll probably just ease into the race, play with them a bit, and then probably just pull away.
Hey, don't say that. Don't say that. Admin's listening, mate. You don't want to be pushed up yet.
That can be next season.
No, look, mate, that was a good lap. Nice and solid. Good luck out there tonight, and hopefully we'll get to chat with you after the race.
Hopefully.
All right, mate. Have a good one out there, eh?
Oh, good.
Oh, Jace, your first top 10 shootout in the combox. How was that?
I always loved the top 10. They're always good.
It is good. It is good. All right, folks, that is going to wrap up the shootout, but that is not going to wrap up our action, because when we return after the intermission, we will be into the race. So we'll be seeing these guys go head-to-head, door-to-door, and starting to mix it up with the likes of Dylan Gray and Tom Nicol, Brock Morshead, as those guys all get door-to-door. So stay tuned. After the break, more racing action for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SRW TV, where we are about to give you the grid for tonight's race. We are round 6, and we got a new commentator joining us in the box tonight. Might have heard him Sunday night, Mr. Peter Baxter. Welcome on in.
Hey Rob, thanks again for bringing me into the commentary box. I guess I'm not sure whether I passed my test from Sunday night, but I'm back here, so it's either the admin haven't marked it or they passed it and didn't let me know. But I guess it's a shout out to Brendan for being away on a working bowls trip and giving me the opportunity to play tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we look at the
I
grid,
can run with the same story there.
Absolutely. Well, you got 3 of us in the box because Jason has hung around, so we'll be picking him up from time to time and having a chat with him. But as we look at our grid now, Dylan Gray, Tim Nicol off the front row. I know there's a bit of fun going to be had there at Dylan's expense. Brock Mothershead, Ray Oliver in second row, Andrew Cowan, Bradley Wall, on the third row. Fourth row is Troy Dooley and Daniel Schultz. Fifth row is Peter Pavlovich and Rob Weiser. And then back there in 11 and 12 is Brett Taylor, Callum Hodgkinson. And then Stephen Sinkovich rounds out the grid, and they are away already, Pete.
We are straight away, mate. We don't even get time to talk about the race, but we can do that after the first lap gets going, right? Early start. I think someone's just had there's a little bit of a turn 1 fun.
That's Troy Dooley and Rob Weiser coming together there, so listen for the radio calls. We ride on board with Brock Mothershead there in the Riot Sim Racing. Dylan Gray's around. And Tim Nicol. That's given Brock Mothershead the clear shot to the front.
Now that's going to produce a really good race, isn't it? So let them Brock out the front and putting Dylan out the back. Now I'm excited. I'll go look forward to tonight's race. Safety car's just been called, so everybody will hold their positions. We might be able to have a look at the replay and see what actually happened.
To see what happened with Troy Dooley here. Let me get a cam for this. So we just see Troy there, the 333, just on the left-hand side. So he's on the outside, 4 wide. Boys, it's lap 1. And he's just turned in on Ray Oliver and just giving him a little bump. So then we...
Yeah, I think that's unlucky for Ray.
Throw to Rob Weiser. See what happened here, because he was in another little... He was just behind all this. I wonder if he's gotten caught up with Ray Oliver there, but Ray Oliver hasn't come up, so maybe he got through. Who's that down on the inside there? I know. What? Rob's just gone around himself.
Yep. Right. So Rob's just lost the back end. He's probably hit the brakes a little bit early on cold tyres and just lost the back end there. He'll get going. Safety car will help both of them. So in fact, safety car will help all of them. They'll be able to line up.
This is Callum Hodgkinson, so I don't know what's gone on here.
Alan got a shocking start. He might have stalled off the start. He went nowhere.
So we'll just get back to the start box here and we'll just watch and see what he did. He spun off the start and looked all really good. And then he just hit the wall. That looks like an equipment failure there, Pete. That looks like just the car just went to the right.
Yeah. It's strange, mate. It's not the sort of thing that you'd expect straight off the grid.
And he's just trundled to the right. I wonder if it's an equipment failure there.
It looks like his steering wasn't working because the car just drove off on a slight angle. And he's run into the fence and just bounced along. So
here's Dylan Gray and Tim Nicol. No, Brock Mothershead here. He's going to be the winner of this little battle. No matter how you look at it, he's going to be happy with this. So you see,
Dylan's out the front.
Tim's just
heading into turn 4. There might be a little bit of. Might be some questions there to be answered there. It looks like a bit of a turnaround. It's the sort of thing that would raise the hackles of race control there. I'm glad I'm not Tyson tonight. I defer and let race control have their time, mate, because the time in the commentary box is way more fun, a lot more exciting. It's a little bit more freedom, and you don't have the pressure of all the super drivers having a crack at you. So, good on him. Good on Tyson for doing what he does. It's tough work in that race control box.
And speaking of Tyson, we'll give a massive shout out to our race control boys up there in the box tonight, doing the hard yards. Looks like Tyson is up there, and I'm not quite sure. He might be in there by himself. I'm not sure. Maybe someone else is in there giving him a hand. So,
no, I think he's on his own,
controllers.
which will mean actually Tyson's in the safety car, I think. So he's probably having a bit of a lap. He's been having a bit of a drive at the moment. So that incident, we'll get the race underway, and then he'll get back and have a look at that incident. He'll be a busy boy tonight, but only for the start. I think with about 12 or 13 cars in the race, generally the races are pretty quiet when they're that small. But we'll get it underway. But the exciting thing is we got some fast guys that are down the back now. They've caught up, obviously. They're with the field.
You were hoping for this, Pete. You were hoping to see this come out. Dylan Gray is slotted back into P7 now after that little contact. So this is going to be really interesting to see how he fights back. So,
well, I gave him the drive of the night on Sunday night, so obviously he's going to draw my attention tonight and go, okay, where is the super kid, right? So we'll see how it goes. But look, there's other people in the race, so we'll have a look at them too. Andy Cowan's sitting up there in P3, so can he hold on? Can he hold on? Yeah.
He benefited from that little collision there with Tim Nicol and Dylan Gray. He was right behind Brock Morrishead when that happened, so he just jumped through a couple of spots. So again, breathes a sigh of relief.
All right, looks like the safety car's away. We might get this race underway. But while we're waiting for the leader to go, mate, a few race stats for you tonight. So we're 45% fuel tank again. We've got a 60-minute race. 45% fuel tank's going to give them about 10 to 11 laps, so it's about 22 minutes worth of driving. So it's a two-stopper.
Two, maybe three.
And you know what I always look at? No, it's a certain two. You know what I always look at? I always look at that. When is the critical window open for that final fuel stop? And that's the 38th minute, right? So and in a light field like this, in a really open track like Silverstone, you can take that early pit stop and you'll gain advantage from it if you've got undercut speed. So, a couple of strategies and options to play out tonight. But let's get the guys going and let's watch them as they go green and let Brock take off.
Has the safety car really affected that strategy here, though?
No, not at all. Not this early. No.
We'll flick to the starter cam. We see Barney up there on his perch, not waving the flag. Thanks, Barney. Good job. You see the boys shuffling. Dylan Gray's now fighting back. We'll flick to him. He's on the back of Peter Pavlovich. Jace, first start in the combox, mate. It's exciting.
Well, I knew this race was going to be interesting. I knew there was going to be a bit of carnage. I wasn't expecting it to be so early on.
Ray Oliver's gone backwards. Sorry to cut you off
really
there, Jace.
Sort of hoping it was going to be in the later half of the track where it really tightens up. But we may still see it coming up soon.
Yeah, exactly right. We might we'll flick back to that little incident with Ray Oliver in just a minute. But here we got Dylan Schultz and Andrew Cowan. And that's Dylan Gray fighting his way back in there again. Oh, Schultz just blinked. I think Schultz just blinked out.
Yeah, no, Ray had a bit of a spin there at turn 4, but he was having a look under the inside, but he just did the right thing, hit the brakes and did his own spin rather than spin another car. So, as I say to a lot of drivers, if you're gonna make a mistake, just make sure you don't hit another car and you don't get any ire from race control and away you go. So he'll get back into
looking. Oh, boys, not there. Oh, that's got to be an off track.
Oh, yeah.
That has to be an off track there for Dylan Gray.
Minor off track, but not a slowdown.
No, not a slowdown. No, it'll be a little blemish there though. But fighting back.
An incident point with 25 in the bank is not too hard to take over an hour at Silverstone.
Troy Dooley now on the back of Brett Taylor just makes a nice little move up the inside. See if Brett can fight back. That looks like Rob's right back there as well. Callan Hodgkinson's already lapped down, so he must have had an issue there or didn't start.
No, remember Cal had that problem at the start, so I suspect if he did have an equipment failure, he's probably towed into the pits for that safety car and it's just put him on the back of the safety car. And if we get another one, is there wave rounds, Rob, in this one? Can he get back into wave rounds?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. It might be a good question for our chat. If Tyson is in our YouTube chat, is there wave rounds, Tyson? And if so, that might give us a little bit of a win there to get Callan back into that lap. But we see Dylan Gray on the back of Andrew Cowan now. It's flick to the nose cam. This is going to be an interesting little battle because we know Cowie's not going to roll over easy.
Well, what it'll do too is it'll let Brock and Brad Wall eke out a little bit of time over Dylan, and it'll make him fight for at least half the race anyway, right? So, but as they say, it's one thing to catch, it's another to pass, and that's, Dylan's got to really show his race smarts now and make these passes cleanly and see if he can get around Cowie. He's not going to make it too hard. Yeah, he's just going to let him go in the Cops through there. And Cops is a fast corner, and if you do let him go, then you lose a lot of time if you don't come out of Cops fast. So that sort of releases Dylan now, and I'll give him 3 laps to chase down Brad and be on the back of Brad.
Yeah, well, he's got a 2-second gap to Brad Wall now, so it'll be interesting to see what he does.
Maybe I should only give him 2 laps.
Troy Dooley now harassing the back end of the Mustang of Steven Sinkovich here. So hopefully we haven't commentator cursed Steven and he doesn't give us the traditional spin on cam, but it's good to see Steven up there in the P9.
Yeah, in the top 10, it's always good when the league admins get in to have a drive, and they find these amateurs. And this is why I think Dylan's going to find himself in trouble, right? So the league admins find people who are about their race pace and say, we're going to call all you guys amateurs so we can have a good race with you.
Yeah.
And then when they watch Dylan blast by in about 3 laps' time, they're going to go, right, we're going to move you to pro because you're not giving us a good race. No, all fun and games. That's actually not what the amateurs do, not the admins do. They pick the admins, not the amateurs, but
a bit of tongue in cheek.
We might as well, light them up a little bit while we got the chance behind the commentary box. Like I said, they haven't told me whether I passed or failed on Sunday night, so if I get another invite back, it's all okay.
That's exactly right. I think that's where Jace is sitting right now. He's like, hey, this is good fun, and if I get an invite back, I'm going to take it. But yeah, Jace, what do you think? First 10 minutes here in the box on the race night. It's something new.
It's definitely different to what I normally be doing, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's not really a Netflix, is it? Sorry.
No, it's not, no. But I do like my Netflix. No, it's a good change. Enjoying it.
We can jump on board with Tim Nicol here. He's looking at the back of Ray Oliver there. We just saw have that rotation there at turn 4. And again, Pete, like you drive these cars quite regularly, so getting out of slow corners on these cars is not fun, is it?
It's the hardest part of the car. One of the things I like about Silverstone is it actually has long, fast flowing corners in the main. There's only a couple that are quite slow, and the hardest part about driving these cars is pulling them up from a fast speed and getting them out of the corners without lighting up the rear tyres. So if you can do that and minimise the danger on the rear tyres, you can keep the tyre life up and keep your average lap speed up for a race. So it's tough work. So this is the hardest bit that I think in this track for these cars is the last corner around the Vale and then in through Club here back onto the new front straight. I think if you keep that car nice and steady, you're going to get a good lap time. You can lose a lot of time on that last corner.
Hey Pete, wasn't even 2 laps, mate. Look who it is.
Yeah, I know. Dylan, you're supposed to leave another lap, mate. Yep. Another lap. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I'm going to have to get in his ear and say, not so fast. Anyway, but like I said, it's one thing to catch, it's another to pass. So,
whoa. Troy with some major run there on Steven Sinkovich. I don't know what happened there. Steven might have been a bit slow, but not sure what's happened. Steven Sinkovich passed, no? No, Steven's still there. He's okay. So I don't know what was going on there. Something must have happened. Dylan Gray's now gone up in P2. So
all right, yeah. Dylan's having a crack at Brad Wall right now out of Luffield. Brad's hanging on the inside through Luffield, but I expect Dylan might get on the throttle a little bit. He's on the outside. Yeah, there he is. He's just on that throttle just that little bit earlier. Nice and tight here. You can get right in close to the fence and not even get a one by there, boys. So take that hint. You can cut a little bit of track on that one. And there's Dylan, and give him another lap. He'll be on the back of Rocket, and then we'll see the real heat for the race.
Race control was called a penalty for car 99. Why don't you boys confirm that on the iRacing screen?
Yep, I did hear Ray Oliver has just received the black flag penalty. That'll be for the crash at lap 1, turn 4 in... where is it? Yeah,
wow,
in the loop there. That'll be that first turnaround crash.
Okay. Well, it's interesting race controls deemed it that way. I mean, we were looking at that and we kind of thought maybe a little both ways, but okay. Right, it's interesting.
Really?
If I'm looking at to the front of Tim Nichols' car here, can someone tell me? I don't think the left-hand front should look quite that far out of the car.
Oh no, something's happened to Tim there.
Tim, mate, this is a supercar round, not an open wheel round, bud. Just a reminder.
Something has happened to Tim there. He has touched the car or touched the fence.
Oh no. Steven Singerich has done it. I'm gonna catch this. Gonna flick over to this replay here. What has Steven done?
What's he done?
He's hit the... Oh no, did he... No, I think he's just gassed it up too
He's
early.
looking all right, yeah.
Or is it curb?
It's
the curb.
Yeah, it's just coming through club. Yeah, touch the curb. The curb's upset him. Raise it off the inside.
That's going to make the highlight reel for the week, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah, give that one the highlight, yeah.
Absolutely.
Righto, Steve, you've got other drivers to create highlights for you, mate. You don't have to do them all yourself. Get back in the race. A couple of guys are going to drive through penalty. There was another one issued as we're watching Steve there. Tim Nichols also received a drive-through penalty for contact on lap 1 as well. So we've got a couple of cars that are going to drop back now. So, Steve, they're going to fall back behind you. You can fight on and keep them behind you, mate. So, get that car running and hopefully you can use your fast repair at your first pit stop if you've done any underfloor damage.
Absolutely.
Now, what I'm going to say, Dylan is right on the back of Brock right now.
We're riding with Dylan now, actually.
Yeah, so he has got up to it. He's 0.33 seconds behind him. So let's just see how long this battle lasts. Dylan's got a little bit of damage on the inside. No,
he's not looking too good, eh?
Yeah, no, that's right. It's too early to pit though. So from two-stop strategy, it's too early to pit in this race.
See what young Dylan Gray can do here as he switches back, tries to get a run. Brock's not going to make this easy. Brock will definitely put the elbows out. Those boys were pretty close in quali times as well, so it's going to be rough. I think Dylan's just got to be careful here now. Like, it's very early, still 18 minutes into the race, hour-long race. Doesn't need to give himself a penalty.
Brock's defending there. Brock's defending there through Village and then up into the loop, so he's certainly aware of Dylan. And, I talked about this before. Dylan's doing what he's got to do. He's got to get right up in the mirror of Brock. He's got to make Brock look at an apex and try and find where Dylan is at the same time. He's breaking the draft coming down the Wellington straight there, and then he actually broke that draft quite well, and Dylan fell back a bit.
Yeah, he just lost a couple of tenths there, Dylan. Maybe he didn't quite get the drop off 4 that he was looking for and just spun the wheels up a little bit. We did see that during quali too. We saw the guys just try and get a little bit too hard on the gas coming out of 4 and just lit up the wheels and...
Yep. And so we've got Pete Pavlik from the Century Motorsports KFC team on screen now. Pete's currently sitting in 7th. He's got a nice little, just under 1 second gap from Tim. He seems to be pretty comfortable in the race. About mid-speeds for everybody else, so probably looking pretty good there for him. Ray Oliver's on the fight back from his first lap. He's already had the first stop, I think, after lap 7, so he might be able to get away with one more stop. I think he's on the threshold though. He might need another safety car to achieve that.
Yeah, well, that's definitely one of those things. Hey, we're going to get our man Jace to give us an insight on what he would do in this situation if faced with the certain uncertainty of how these pit stops are going to fold out and the safety car. We've already seen a little bit of damage tonight. What would you be looking for, Jace, in this situation?
Not a clue. Firmly not.
Tim Nichols.
I'd be playing it safe. I'd just be riding it out, just keeping a steady pace for now. Slowly make up some ground, and then towards the end, just start giving it a bit more.
Are you a numbers man, Jace? Like, would you crunch numbers, or would you just leave that to somebody else to play?
Nah, leave that to someone else.
You see Dylan Gray now putting a move on Brock, trying to.
Yeah, he's certainly putting a lot of pressure. Brock's not trying to break the draft this time, so Dylan's going to have a look, see if he's got him in the Brocklands there. Too tight. Yeah, no, Brock's got him through Luffield. He'll have him covered there, having the inside. Dylan's going to just have to be patient here, get off the throttle.
Oh, he doesn't want to bump in.
Little bit of oversteer's cost Dylan there, so Brock's got another break. He's probably got to be able to run this through the Maggots and Beckett's okay at the moment. Depends on how Dylan comes out of cops.
Let's have a look at Dylan's.
Dylan's overshot the braking in the cops. That's given Brock another bit of a half second. So a bit of relief there. Brock can focus on apexes and exits and get moving.
Bit of commentator's curse there. As soon as we jump in board with Dylan Gray, he just looked like he just lost the rear of the car there. Is he? I think maybe he's just pushing too hard on those rear tyres, Pete, and just not giving him enough of a cool off there, or?
I don't think he's pushing the tyres, mate. Well, I think what he's trying to do is, I suspect Dylan's braking points are just a little bit later than Brock's, which is why he's closing up to him so close on the entry. And in that case, Brock might have just slowed down a little bit more than he expected in the cops, and so Dylan just had to just give a little bit more brake pressure, and that's just sort of given the car, upset the car a little bit. But yeah, I don't think he's wearing the tyres out. I think he's just managing sort of the Brock's driving at the moment. Dylan's faster, you can see it on entry, but what Dylan's got to do is, he doesn't necessarily have to get him on entry. What he's got to do is he's got to come out either onto the Wellington or the Hanger Straight a bit faster, and be able to get the overlap, so he can then use his braking skills into a following corner.
Yeah, right. It's quite funny you touching a few of those points there, because he could ill afford a penalty right now trying to make a risky move like that. It's still early. He just needs to sit there and just, maybe save a bit of fuel. It might give him a bit of a window later down the road where he's a shorter stop at the end and can get in and get out.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, right? I was thinking, he's got the opportunity here just to sit behind Brock and use his draft and save a bit of fuel. We're on lap 10 now, so are these guys going to do 10 laps or 11 laps? We're going to find out at the end of this stop. Dylan has got the opportunity to pit at the end of this lap and undercut Brock if Brock stays out. So if I'm Dylan, I'm doing the opposite to what Brock's doing at the end of this lap, because we're in the window of 2 stops right now. We don't have to drive it.
Is that pit lane there? No, that's the old pit lane.
That's the old pit lane, yep. No, it's coming out of cops now.
We'll jump on board with Brad Wall, and we'll see what these boys are doing up in front.
Oh, Brad will have a wonderful view. He'll probably think, hey, great. This is the best view of the race. Keep it up. So here we go. See, Dylan's got a nice run out of Beckett's. Coming up the Hanger Straight. He's got the overlap he needs. He's better under brakes.
But right now, I don't think he needs to play this game. I think he just needs to sit in behind, save a bit of fuel. Think about the fuel getting longer. Just longer game. Dylan did reach out to me and say a bit of insight on the driving. And this chicane here, he was very worried about with the off-track that you get with this back corner. And then he was saying that, it's a little bit sketchy through 3 as well. So Brad Wall was also resonating those exact same points. So it seems like it's quite a similar feeling across the board for the boys in the car, the way it handles, the way it feels around those slower points, I guess, because that last chicane in turn 3, 4 are very slow. So, understanding what they're doing and how the car's feeling at the time makes it slightly different on the strategy and the approach to how aggressive they can be, I guess. Tim Nicol just up the inside. No, he didn't quite get it done on Ray Oliver.
You'll break it up a little bit, Rob, but we'll try and keep the commentary going. We're back live. I'm actually going to say to you, I think unless Dylan's taken a real driver's view of the lead, I reckon he missed a trick. I reckon he missed an opportunity at the end of that last lap. But we'll see. We'll see. He might be able to drag an extra lap out. So they've got to be due for pit stops by my calculations at the end of this lap for sure.
Yeah, right. Well, hopefully they're not cutting it down. It looks stable.
Yeah, no, you're coming. You look now. You just had a short moment of little patchy moment there.
Probably one of the kids on the internet. I'll take their privileges away later tonight.
Change your password.
Yeah, that's right. We'll bring up the timing tower now. Probably missed that for the first little bit, but we'll bring it up now, and you'll get to see the gaps as we see Dylan Gray's about 1 second off the back of Brock Monishead right now. See some nice little battles building throughout the back. This one here with Tim Nicol and Ray Oliver is an absolute cracker, and they're right on the back of Troy Dooley, so they can work together and maybe bring each other up to the back of Troy and make a couple of spots each. Tim's definitely quick. He's down 7 spots, so he had an issue there.
There's some trouble.
That's not what he wanted to do.
That's not working together, Rob. You're just talking. That's a commentator's curse right there, mate. These guys can work together, and then they put each other right on the grass, mate. That's all on you. I'm going to call that one.
A interesting development. Brock Monishead has gone into pit lane. Dylan has stayed out. Is that the right choice?
Well, mate, if he stayed out and got another lap off those, he's got check his fuel. iRacing stewards come and check his fuel. Dylan is way too fast and he's going a lap too long. In fact, half of them are going a lap too long. So.
I was going to say, what's this, lap 12 now? Lap 13? Yeah, we're in lap 12 now, so yeah, it's about there, but has Brock done something funky? Has he gone in and just tried to, play the game? Like, he's got a 20-second stop, so... Has he thrown tyres out? Just fuel?
Well, the pressure for Brock was he had to make a decision, right? So, Dylan sitting behind him had the luxury to do the opposite. So Brock had to make a decision. Was it now or could he do another lap? But also he might have been burning a little bit more fuel. Dylan might have been saving fuel sitting behind him in the draft. And given that the number of cars have gone around 12 laps, including the car that gave me the fuel number tonight, I must say, I won't call him out yet. They've done a lap extra, so it's still for me a certain two-stopper unless there's another safety car. Maybe that safety car's given them that extra lap of fuel.
Well, I was going to say, that 2 laps on the safety car might have just given that extra window. The interesting fact is here we have Dylan Gray and Bradley Wall into pit lane now, so where's Brock in conjunction with pit lane?
Alrighty, let me get some eyes on Brock.
So we'll jump inside with Brock and see as he's coming up through, what's that, Cops?
Righto, coming up through Hanger Straight. Yep, coming up to Stowe. And then down in the Vale. You keep an eye on the cars coming out of pit lane, mate, and we'll see how Brock, whether he's got an undercut or an overcut, or whether Dylan comes out in front. We'll know that in about 25 seconds, I think, probably a little bit shorter.
Dylan's still in the pit lane, hasn't actually serviced yet. Remember, Brock had a 20-second stop.
Brock's come past them and none of them have left the pits. He has got a massive advantage.
3 seconds, and Dylan took extra fuel there, and Tim Nicol, was that Tim Nicol just went? It was. Tim Nicol just went way out there. Dylan Gray took 22.3 seconds in the pit stop. So that's really
a much longer
put
stop,
him
isn't
back.
it?
That's put him now nearly 3 seconds off the back of Brock Monishead. They were really close before that. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So we see Ray Oliver exiting the pit lane as well. So we're looking about...
So Tim Nichols had a bit of trouble and gone off and accidentally left the race. So send an apology into all drivers and I think we got that, Tim, mate. Have a good weekend and I guess the boys will catch you in the AM race next Tuesday night.
Tim will probably be there on Sunday night. Hope he's
there you go.
Sunday night. So yeah, that'll be interesting. As we just look through the field, Andrew Cowan is literally on the back of Bradley Walker. Not pressuring him, but just in that window where it's just starting to make Brad think about it. And Dylan Gray still pushing at it.
Yep. The
Brock Waterhead has got the best lap of the race too.
The two that are fighting, Pete Pavlich and Daniel Schultz. And Daniel's just taken Pete for the position. Where are they in? They'll be in P6 and 7
5 and 6
at the moment, I think. 5 and 6.
Yep.
Yep. So Daniel's just got Pete for the position there after the pit stops. A little bit of cold tyre work there, a little bit of cold tyre skills. So, James, what are you doing cold tyres, mate? Do you push hard or do you let them come up to temperature before you get in there and start doing your pro times?
I think he's left us. Is he left us? Is he back? We'll say he's hiding for a little bit. We'll just flick to a comment on the YouTube. Jet Murray saying Brock short fueled. I'm not sure. I'm really not. Maybe it's strategy though. If he's short fueled, maybe he's playing the strategy game. Maybe he's got the window he needs to get to that. What did we say? That 38-minute mark? 9 minutes away?
We saw this on Sunday night, mate. So, you know, if Dylan catches up to the back of Brock, he doesn't need to overtake him now. He can just sit with him and wait till Brock goes over the pits, and it'll be an easy pit stop overtake with the difference in fuel now to get to the end of the race.
Exactly right. Yeah, we're just sitting there in a comfortable P4 on the back of Bradley Wall. As they start building into what Peter's called the critical number, which is, what was it, Pete? 38 minutes, you said?
Yeah, I called that at 38 minutes, so 22 minutes to go. That's the critical number for the fuel tank. So we're still 7 or so minutes away from that. So we're still about 4 laps away from that. And then we can let's see if we get some drivers in and see if they get another set of tyres and just let these ones off and go hard for the rest of the race. But look, it's a fairly open field. If you're not being held up, you just drive.
Yeah, well, I mean, how much did that affect Brock, do you think, when he made that first stop, come out open, clean air, no one around him, he could just get into the lap and just go? How much did that help his fuel strategy at the next stop?
I don't think it'll help his fuel strategy, but what it'll do, it'll help his ability just to drive the track cleanly. So he won't have Dylan in his mirror, jockeying for position, having to defend. He can hit his braking markers on the racing line. He can hit the apexes. He can use his turn exits, at full throttle. He can go for his fastest race laps right now with fresh tyres, low fuel, and hopefully that gives him enough of a gap to end up with a good result. I think it was probably a mistake if he did short fill, Dylan's almost on the back of him now.
Danny Schultz here having big backwards and forwards.
Oh yeah, they're having a ding dong battle. This is awesome.
This is great. This is what it's all about, though. Now, it's about getting in there and mixing it up in front. Bouncing Dylan,
absolutely.
So we see Dylan now, as you said, you called that just a second ago. Dylan on the back behind Brock Waterhead.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? Because Dylan knows he's got such a fuel advantage for the last stop, he really doesn't need to overtake. But I'm going to call Dylan a pure racer, right? He's got a race head, not a strategy head. I don't think he's a crew chief yet, but he's a young kid that drives fast, right? So you know what happens when drivers put their helmets on? They just think win, 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 overtake, and we've seen it in this league a couple of times. People will gain a position for somebody having it off and then redress it even though it's not their fault, so they can do a genuine overtake.
We saw that Sunday night.
That's right. And Dylan's. I think Dylan's going to go, no, I'm having fun. I'm going to put the pressure on him. I'm going to make it a hard race for Brock, give him as many laps as I can under pressure and see how he goes. But, Brock's handling it well. He's fending him off here. He's hanging around the outside of Stowe. He's going to have the inside into the last corner. Even though Dylan's good under brakes, Dylan's going to have to settle down and take it, let it out, get back onto the main straight and go again.
This is two young guys having a real crack at each other. And this is what it's about. They're in there, they're digging in, they're putting their elbows out, and they're just getting on with the racing. And they're making it clean too. Like they're not, they're not making it a big problem. Like they're not bumping doors, they're not pushing each other, they're not, anything like that. They're just getting in and having a good, clean race. Like,
and that's what SRW is all about, right? So, you don't have to be P1 and P2 in a race. We've got 3 groups right now. We've got P3 and P4. So we've got Brad Wall and Andy Cowan, and we've got P4 and P5. We've got Danny Schultz and Pete Pavlik doing exactly the same thing. They're having ding-dong clean battles, and SRW brings it out. You don't need to be at the front of the race to have a good race. I think just at the front it gives it a little bit more pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the boys are in trouble at the front. Mate, you want to go back to the front? Race control's got some work to do now. The boys at the front have been at each other. We've been talking about clean racing.
Let's have a look at the replay here of what's going on, because this has just been called on the radio.
Oh, yeah, no, you've got to watch this all the way through the corner. So it looks like they're side by side. I think the cars are just they're squeezing each other. They're trying to really put some pressure on now. Dylan's trying to, just give him room, but as little as he has to. But
let's rewind that a little bit, because I think this might be a little bit of So that one there was called netcode, which you can clearly see there was a gap there. So
yep, the second one's called netcode, and the first one was called on car 6, and car 6 has lost out overall. So Tyson's let this as play on. Now that is great race controlling, isn't it? Right? The guys can have a ding dong battle. They can door bash. They can have a little bit of this. The guy that was probably more at fault in the incident that started it, let's the netcode's the netcode, that stuff happens in iRacing, but he's lost out a little bit, so don't need to penalise them any further. Race on, they're all together. Yeah,
that's exactly right. Yeah, no, that's good race controlling by Tyson up there in the box. So I mean, we see it week in and week out. We see guys just have a big dig at each other. And,
absolutely, but
you got to take it as it comes. I mean, Dylan probably played a fair part in that, and I mean, Brock maybe just give him a little bit of return and said, "Hey, don't squeeze me, buddy. You want to play? Let's play fair," and just give him a bit of a rub up. But it's fair game, isn't it? It's play on, like at that point.
I told you they got driver's helmets on, didn't I? Did I say that?
Yeah, you did say that once they put the helmets on, they just become something else. But again, I mean, we're all guilty of it. We've all done it, and none of us are completely oblivious to it. And it's even better when you see it happen, and you can literally look at it and be like, look, mate, probably didn't need to do it, And look, we still had like 30 minutes to go. Like, we don't need to be doing that stuff.
No, that's right, and we're a minute and a half away from that critical
stop
time, that critical stop time, and we've got still P1 and 2 together, 3 and 4 are pretty close together, but we got P5 to 8 are having a ding-dong battle. So you got them up on screen now. So who we got in that? We got Dan Schultz, Pete Pavlik, Troy Dooley, and Ray Oliver all together. That's a good strategic race. They're not close enough to bang doors or hit each other at the moment, but I'm sure they're like, how do I put a little bit more pressure? I go, how do I get closer? How do I get this guy to give him a little bit more things to think about and get him to make a mistake so I can get a position? That's how you're going to race when you're racing with somebody who is just at the same speed as you.
Yeah, exactly right. When you get to having those battles, like you just see, you might be faster in say sectors 2 and 3, and your competitor might be faster in sectors 1 and 4. You kind of got to blend those differences out, and you try and maximise where you can, and try and work on their weakness.
Yep, we're going to get back up the front, mate, because Dylan's back on the block right now.
Oh,
they're just about into each other again. So, the exciting part of this race, Dylan's giving him a little bit of Morse code through turn 4 there.
So the race control.
Commentators curse. We don't want that on any of these guys. These guys are putting on a doozy of a race for us. Here we go again. Yep, Dylan's having a look inside. Brock hasn't necessarily had to give him the room this time, so I reckon he's all right. He's going to come through Luffield. They'll come through Luffield 1-2 now. Now, if I'm Dylan, I'm taking a bigger apex and getting on the throttle earlier, but it's just a little bit of oversteer there, which is just stopping Dylan's momentum just a touch. And I think if he gets that momentum, he's going to get the overlap he needs in the cops. He's just costing himself just a little bit. Oh, here we go.
He's running wide.
Oh, Brock's overshoot it here. Oh, he'll get a slowdown from that.
I'm not sure he'll get the actual slowdown on that. I don't think he went that far off. I think he might have got just a little 1x. Actually, he didn't even get a 1x. It didn't even show up as an off track on SCK there, so maybe he didn't get it.
Jeez, he got away with that then, didn't he?
Is this a ploy, though, for Brock just to sit in now and ride this and mirror Dylan in the pit stop?
I think the gap in fuel drop is too big for Brock. I think Brock's got to ride this out and to be honest, drive for second. But if he can put the pressure on, go for it, right? I mean, the kid's got a racing helmet on, not a strategy head. So,
yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. And look, I mean, you can see that, you want two drivers to have a cracking battle. You want to see it, and they are. They're doing exactly that. But which one which one pulls the trigger first and goes, all right, I'm in my critical window, I can get home. Do I bolt now and give my guy behind me a bit of an advantage? Because you kind of have a feeling that Brock is going to shadow Dylan no matter where he goes, you see. Dylan's now playing very defensive now where, this is going to slow him up. He needs to just get back into his groove and his rhythm, doesn't he?
And that's exactly what Brock needs to do, right? Brock needs to be right up there. And, Dylan had a couple of oversteers out of the last couple of corners there and through the first corner. His rear tyres are not sticking as well as Brock, so that'll give Brock a whole lot of confidence. Dylan's not driving away with this. There we go. We're going to go side by side again. So I think Dylan's feeling the pressure here because he's getting on the throttle just a little bit too early and it's costing him time in the straights.
He's
a lot better. Yeah, overdrive just a touch. But that's what pressure does, right? You can be a super fast driver when you got somebody sitting under your rear spoiler like Brock is, and here cutting off a little bit of track distance going through what is one of the fastest corners. Dylan's held on to that and held on the track, so good on him there. But we're seeing the young fella put under pressure here.
Seeing a bit of combat here as well with Ben Pavlovich and Troy Dooley. And there's that little 1% that you were talking about, Pete.
That's that 1%er. That's right. Yeah, you've got to take that, and if you can take that and get just that extra overlap, and do exactly what he's done to Pete there, is just leave him outside the apex through cops. Come out of it and you should be able to drive up to Maggots and Beckett's first, and that's what Troy's done exactly. That is just fabulous driving, taking the 1% of there and gaining a position out of it. Well done.
Some shorts there on screen. He's now got a nice little gap there back to Troy and Pete there. He was in that little battle pack just before. Cowie is in. Cowie has gone, you know what? I can get to the finish. I'm going to the pit. I think you might have the commentary and gone, 22 minutes to go. Oh, well, I'm in. So Andrew Cowan has gone to the pit lane. That brings Brad Wall up into P3. We see Andrew Cowan just trundling down pit lane there. So first stop, 21 seconds for Cowie. We'll have to keep an eye on what this stop is. Watching the clock. Watching the clock. It's 11. He's dropped down. Andrew Cowan's dropped back 2. 13 second stop.
Okay, that's it there. That's a fairly short stop.
That's a good drop there. And look, this battle is just something else, isn't it?
Yep. Now, Cowie needs fresh track. He's only got a 2-second gap in front of him. So is that fresh enough? Cowie really needs a fresh track now to make most of those fresh tyres. To try and make the most of this early pit stop strategy. Now, the good thing what he can do is, now that he knows if a safety car's called, mate, Cowie is just flat out right, and he's be pushing the guy in front of him saying, come on, because as soon as they go into the pits, and it's a long pit entry here, as soon as they go into the pits, you can actually get a real advantage from going around the outside at full race speed. So there's a potential advantage there for Cowie if there's a safety car comes out.
the Cowie's pit lane time was 44 seconds. That's with a 13-second stop. So that's a long trundle down pit lane. That's a 30-second transit time. That's a long way. And 80 kilometres an hour, I believe pit lane is here at Silverstone. So, yeah, when you're coming down through that last little section, and, you know, those guys are coming through. Hey, so goes Brock. Brock's shot off in the pit lane.
There we go. Brock shot off in the pit lane. Yep.
He's apparently passed Dylan Gray, which is kind of interesting because of the way the tractor's formed. He actually gets in front of Dylan on the way into pit lane, so that's actually kind of funny.
Now, for any of you drivers listening, you are not allowed to do that on the last lap, okay? Don't do it on the last lap. Don't go into pit lane. You cannot jump a position that way. Race control will get you.
Yeah, Jace, if you're listening to this, do not do that if you go to Silverstone, all right?
I'll try to remember that, thanks.
You get away with it in officials, but not in a league race. But here's the thing, like Cowie's dropped off a little bit from the cars in front of him, so that full tank might be impacting his speed a little. As Brock's come out into trouble.
Around it all.
Oh, he's got to get out. Brock has got to get out and get in front of these guys so he can drive away. Otherwise, he has. Awesome. Righto, that's going to give him a chance to really fight for track position. Now, the thing is, what do you do if you're Dylan? Do you go, all right, I'm going to drive this out and just drive fastest lap after fastest lap and try and build a big gap and do a short pit stop? Or am I going to take that next pit stop and going to come out and am I going to race Brock? I reckon if I was Dylan, I'd be driving.
The problem is, Brock's only 2 spots behind him now. He's only 27 seconds off Dylan's pace. So he's only 27 seconds behind. We know it's a 30-second trundle down pit lane plus fuel time. This potentially could bring Dylan back into some real traffic, like we just saw with Brock then.
All right, can Brock make it on one stop?
He's fueled to the end, dude. He's on 2 pit.
Oh, sorry, not Brock. Can Dylan make it?
No, he's in.
He's in, yep.
And he's
so
on
there
the
you go.
limiter.
So he's responded.
Does he make it? He might have made that on the limiter.
All right, you keep him in pit lane. I'll talk you through. Brock's coming up the hangar straight now, up towards Stowe. Brock is hitting the braking marker. He's coming through Stowe.
Dylan's still trundling pit lane. Hasn't pulled up yet. Pulling in now to his pit bay.
Alrighty.
Stop now.
Here we go, and we've got Brock coming around the last set of turns, about to come out of club and get onto the main straight. I think Brock's going to come out in front of him here. Look at that, Brock's on the main straight now.
Dylan with a 13.2.
A slow exit.
I don't know
got
if
him. Yep, Dylan's got him. Yep.
I don't know if that's going to be looked at, but yeah, that was definitely very, very loose coming out of pit lane there from Dylan. He may have got nabbed, I'm not sure. I have to wait and see what the call is there, but you know, Brock's on hot tyres and he's warm, so the hunt now is on Brock to get to Dylan. There's the visual gap. It's Dylan up there, so
3 second advantage on that gap. So so Dylan's made the most of that. That I think that first short fueling on Brock, if it was a short fueling, has probably hurt him in that spit cycle.
So now,
now we've got to
look to the last point here and see what the boys come up with.
Yeah, well, we got what have we got? We've got 12 minutes of the race to go. Dylan and Brock are certainly good to the finish. Who we got? Brad Wall's out the front. He still needs to pit. Oh no, Brad's done a pit stop on lap 22 as well. Brock's fallen in behind Brad.
No, he's in front of Brad.
No. There you go. No, just my secondary race time hasn't caught up. So, long laps at Silverstone. Looking at the wrong one again.
Yeah, no, it is long laps here. And it's funny you mention that because it is a very long lap here at Silverstone for these boys. And we're talking to Jace early on about muscle memory and And what you've got to do to remember, as we see Cowie right on the back of Bradley Wall, and who's that behind him? Daniel Schultz. So it's Schultz he's just bailed off, but Cowie right here on the back of Bradley Wall. Muscle memory around here, trying to get the car stopped and get it turned and apexes, and your brain's just going constant, isn't it? You never get a chance to actually take a breath and relax, do you?
Well, yeah, you do. You do. There's a couple of really nice straights on this track to take a break, but you've got to. This is a circuit because it is so long. You've got to break it down into about 5 different sections. So really, it's turns 1 through to 5, and then it's turns 6 through to 9, and then you go 10 through to 15. The Maggots, Beckett's up the Stowe complex, and then Larson. That's how I do it. Right? Is just break Silverstone down, and in those straights between them, you just take a little bit of a breather, and then you go, right, I've got to do this section, I've got to do this section. Like I said, this is my favourite, one of my favourite tracks on the service.
Ray Oliver on screen right at the moment with a very modified looking, is it Mustang? It is a Mustang. It's a very weight reduced Mustang.
He's still on the coupe look.
He's dropped the boot lid, he's dropped the rear wing, he's lost the whole rear of that car, so something.
Normally that happens when somebody gives him a tap in the back, so someone's either got a little bit close under the brakes and given him that. There was a recent call, but I don't think there's much out of it at this stage, but and that'll impact him, especially through the high-speed aero corners. That'll slow him down through the Maggots and Beckett's complex for sure, which slows him down on the hanger straight. So it'll cost him lap time overall, not having that rear spoiler.
Yeah, exactly. So we see Andrew Cowie now chasing Bradley Wall. He's right there in front of him. P3 right now for Brad Wall. He's in the championship hunt too. He's there and thereabouts. So I'm not sure what his position actually is in the championship, but it would be a good night for Brad to bring this home and get a nice points banking.
Yeah, we should be able to find where he is in the. Just give us a moment.
Just watching Brad Wall. Just around Dylan Gray just extended that lead out immensely. He's 3.9 seconds up on Brock here, so little fuel gap helped him, but
So look, to answer your question, mate, Brady's sitting third in the championship. So Brock's leading the championship, Ray Oliver second, and Brad third. So this is probably going to hurt Ray more than it's going to hurt anybody else. And Dylan's taken points off everybody, but Dylan's currently sitting 8th. As we know, he hasn't done the whole lot, all the rounds, but if he keeps winning, let's see where he ends up at the end of the championship. What is it, 3 races to go, 4 rounds to go after this?
4 rounds to go, yeah. Yep, 100%, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And we've got a couple of good doozy tracks coming up too. We've got Sandown in the not too distant future. We've got the classic Oran Park, V8 supercars at Oran Park. You can't go past that. And I think there's an Alton Park, and I forget what the other one is. So some tracks are coming.
Some of them sound like fantastic tracks to spectate, mate.
Yes, this is spectate for sure. I wouldn't want to be driving, let me tell you. Actually, I'll tell you what the calendar is after this round. So we're at Silverstone currently. We go to Oran Park next week, on to Sandown the week after, Alton Park Circuit on week 9, and of course, where else would you be on the final round of the V8 Supercar Championship?
Bathurst.
Of course. I mean,
has to be
the home of V8 Supercars. I mean, if you're not there, are you really racing?
Well, if you're an Aussie and you don't have Bathurst and supercars, and it wasn't the first thing you tried on iRacing, you probably need to go and eat a meat pie, right? So, the amount of people that you see, I just joined iRacing and I can only do a 2:12 on Bathurst in the supercar, and everybody who's been on iRacing for like years just goes, oh mate, that's the hardest combo, what are you trying to do? Maybe you should learn how to use it first. So warning out there to all the newcomers, don't drive a supercar in Bathurst as your first attempt.
Well, our guest commentator, rookie commentator in the box tonight, actually drove Bathurst yesterday for the first time in a GT3 car, And it's not about eating a meat pie for him, but it's sausage rolls is his go-to. So definitely, definitely something out there to keep you entertained. But yeah, I mean, if you haven't got Bathurst on the RSC server, you're missing out. I mean, that is a real driver circuit. It really is a lot of fun. So we'll be there in the final round of the V8 Am series, and that will also translate to our Pro Am series as well. So we'll see some cracking races there.
Yeah.
And
But
hey,
Oran Park and Alton Park, you can have them, right?
Pete,
You can. I'll spectate.
I know the kid. I know young Dylan Gray is very, very quick at Bathurst. So it'll be interesting to see if admin jump in and be like, hey, you know, we're going to bump you into pro for the final round, or if they're going to just let him run this this amateur stuff out. But it'll be very interesting to see the speed and the driver's skill at the final round of Bathurst. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's still one Team SRW admin ahead of him in the championship. So I think if Dylan fights his way ahead of that last admin, then he might be fighting off the pro sticker. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's going to be a lot of chat around that young man after this season for sure. But you know, look, Oran Park. I know it's some favourites for some of the drivers. I know a lot of guys like Oran Park. I know guest commentator. I know he loves the Oran Park circuit. Doing a bit of messing around here.
Oran Park's actually a blast. I haven't done a lot of supercar racing there. I've done a lot of GT3 racing around there, and there's next to no rest in it. You know, unlike. I disagree with you about Silverstone. There's plenty of rest in Silverstone, but Oran Park, you know, you get a little bit of rest on the main straight, and then that's about it. You are into it from there, and you know, there's not many places to overtake. You've really got that turn one at Oran Park, and all the rest you almost got to wait for somebody else to make a mistake to get a position. So, really good patience. So, we've got 5 minutes left to go, mate, which is just over 2 laps, depending on where Dylan is, and. We might just run through the field for everybody so they know where they all are.
Yeah, well, it's pretty clear cut. I mean, Dylan Gray now 6.4 seconds out in front. Brock Mottershead in P2 currently. Bradley Wall in P3, 10 seconds from the lead. Andrew Cowan in P4, we'll jump on board with him now, is pushing. He's only 1.3 seconds off the back of Brad Wall, so anything could happen there. That can change pretty quickly. Daniel Schultz P5, Ray Oliver in P6, and those boys are not done and dusted just yet. Peter Pavlovich in 7, Brett Taylor in 8, Rob Visor in 9, and Troy Dooley in 10, and Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Sinkovich, just cruising along out there by himself in P11. So
he's probably still recovering from his spin, right? He might have got dizzy from jumping over the curb at club. So.
Yeah, that was quite the jump. But, speaking of jump, tuning in Thursday night as we take our Bathurst Jump Expression Session live to SRW TV. Come and join us. That's going to be a lot of fun. Everyone who races at Bathurst. Now, this is another reason why you've got to get the iRacing Bathurst track, because there is a jump down the bottom of the chase through the sand trap, and it just launches you. You need to try it. You need to tune in Thursday night. Come and see some of the guys just put on a massive spectacle. But Pete, I don't know how much of the jump you use, but it's almost mandatory, isn't it, these days? After a Bathurst race, you got to do that jump.
Well, to be honest, I haven't done it. Every time, I've never succeeded. I've smashed into the fence all the time because I actually don't know what the line is.
I'm going to find somebody.
I'm going to find somebody and find it. So.
Okay, so yeah, for people who don't know where the jump is at Bathurst, you come out of the elbow, you come down Conrod Straight, and instead of taking the kink through the chase, you hug that right side, you just clip that curbing, and you go pretty much straight ahead, straight through the sand trap and straight up over the wall. It's quite the spectacle. So tune in Thursday night, folks, and you'll see some jumps happen there at Bathurst.
Sounds like Nutbag Central. Was this your idea, mate?
No.
I'm a serious iRacer. I'm a serious iRacer. I take this simulator serious. I do my crew chiefing with all of the numbers, and I've got all my calculators. I don't look for jumps.
Mate, it was not me. I cannot claim this one. That was organised by the admin, so I'm guessing
so Crazy Steve has
Mr.
been doing a little bit of
Stevenson
practice at a club.
yeah, I think so. I think he just knows he couldn't finish the lap, so he just wants to go fast in a straight line and then just crash it, because that's probably what would happen anyway. So I think that's the theory. Troy Dooley's just coming to pit lane, so that's kind of interesting. That is going to bring the Commander-in-Chief into P10 with only 1.5 minutes to go. Steven Sinkovich might drag a P10 out of this race.
After jumping club, I think that'll be a good result for Steve. He's been fighting back the whole race, so good on him. I don't know what's happened to Troy though. He's had to stop quite late. Maybe he went for a one-stopper and didn't get a second safety car.
Don't know. Maybe he was. Yeah, I'm not sure there.
Yeah. So we got
He's
1
got
minute.
4 pit stops. Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah, we got 1 minute to go here. I wonder if this is the white flag lap, or we're going to have to do one more. It'll be the white flag lap.
This will be the white flag lap.
Yeah, it'll be called after the checkered flag after the 0 time. So
Dylan now with an 8-second gap. So I think Brock's just gone. Yeah, mate, you can go ahead. I've got a championship. I'm in the championship hunt. I'm not going to fight it. I'll just cruise on home and get the P2. But again, you know, this is just a drive and a half. I mean, Dylan. Best lap 2:03.34. Brock Monishead 2:03.56. Bradley Wall 2:03.50. So Bradley Wall the second best time of the night. And the only other one who's in the threes was Ray Oliver with 2:03.90. So again, Ray's had a treacherous night, but he's got a good quality lap in there as well. So
had a tough night coming back after that lap 1 incident. So to maintain 6th. Yeah, I did have a thought that Ray might fight back a little bit harder after that, but he's still going to get some good points, but this will hurt him a little bit in the fight with him and Brad. So I don't know if it's enough points to change positions, but it's certainly going to bring him closer.
These boys are just switching. Look at this! Look at this! Oh, I just saw this on the timing tree just light up. Oh, Ray's giving him an almighty.
Ray's giving him a tap. Mate, is the commentator's curse close racing tonight or what? Ray is just getting in there, giving him a tap. This has got to be the white flag
lap. It's actually
lap.
the checkered flag, no?
It's checkered flag lap. Giving him a little bit of touch up.
So Dylan Gray with the win, Brock Monishead.
There we go.
And we'll try and pick up where Brock is. Yeah, Brock's across the line. Bradley Wall again. Andrew Cowan. Daniel Schultz there with Ray Oliver. These boys are cracking on with this, aren't they? They're not holding back right now.
Not at all. This is the last few corners for them. They're still wide open. That somebody in front of them will make an error.
Ray getting a lot of air.
Yeah. He's given Steve Sinkovich a little bit of jumping competition. So
is Ray going to get a run?
Has he got the run? Yeah, no, it's over
he didn't. He didn't quite get
the timing line's earlier, mate. The timing line's earlier. So,
and Steven Sinkovich is
and
going to bring
then
us home in
Steve comes
P10.
across in P10. Look at that.
Just trundles along, best lap 2:04.54. Nothing exuberant, nothing flash, but it's consistency, isn't it? It's about just staying there and doing the consistency thing, isn't it?
Mate, to finish first you got to finish, right? So
that's exactly right. Yeah.
So if you can't finish a race, you're never going to come first. So that's what I mean. My approach to racing is I've got to finish the race, and then the result will take care of itself.
So we'll flick to start cam here. We'll see the podium. They'll roll around underneath Barney's little platform there, as you can see the results there on your screen. But Dylan Gray, Victor tonight once again, by 8.3 seconds overall. And Brock Monishead P2, Bradley Wall P3, that's your podium, and we'll get some interviews with those gentlemen in the immediate future. But Andrew Cowan in P4, Daniel Schultz P5, Ray Oliver, Tyrod Knight into P6, Peter Pavlovich in P7, Brett Taylor P8, Rob Visor in P9, and Steven Sinkovich in 10. Troy Dooley, P11, Tim Nicol, who exited the server in P12, and Callum Hodgkinson had that issue on the start there and finishes in P13.
Yeah, feel sorry for Cullen down there. That was clearly an equipment failure of some sort. That the car just didn't drive like it was under any form of control. So
the boys are just
it might be a while before Dylan gets here. So he's running out of fuel somewhere on the track. So he certainly did push that to the limit to get that gap over Brock in that pit stop.
So you're getting a little bit of an expression session from the boys there. Oh, is that Dylan Gray?
And there he is.
Dylan pokes through the middle.
Yeah, I think he had to push all the way up Hanger Straight to get there. So
oh no, he's got a little bit. Has he got a bit of fuel left?
Got a little bit of fuel left. Yeah.
He's doing a little bit of a. Oh, and Brock just slaps the wall, Will Davison style at Townsville. Love that. Good work. And keep it away from the wall, boys. I think Brock just ran out of fuel right there, and Dylan just noses it into the wall again.
Now, did somebody say something to me? There's burnout training going on in SRW, mate. You might have to grab some of these boys for that, I think.
I know there is a burnout comp coming up. Yes, there is. Running at Winton. We are doing a burnout competition in a couple of weeks, so shh, keep that down. Yeah. Keep that down, Peach.
Oh, thank Pete, mate. No, but that's just a training opportunity, right? So
as we wait for our podium to join the green room, we'll just back up the results here again on the screen. You guys can see where your drivers were, where your teammates ended up, or where everything was finalised there. But we do have Mr. Bradley Wall in the green room, so let's bring in Mr. Bradley Wall. Good evening, congratulations, P3. How was it out there, mate?
Oh, tough. Maintained focus for that long. It was, yeah. It's a long track.
Hey, Brad, you had a cracker of a fight going in front of you. Did you think you had the speed to be able to catch Dylan and Brock at any stage, or were you just fighting with Cowie most of the race?
So the first half of that race, I thought I had the pace to stay with them, and every time they came close, my eyes lit up. I thought I might have an opportunity to sneak up there, but then after the pit stop, I fell off a bit, and then it was Cowie in my mirror for the rest of the race. So
yeah. I talk a lot about drivers getting right in the mirror. Did he get right up close and put you off?
A couple of times there when we were really close, but no, it was all good.
Yeah, awesome. And two-stop strategy there for the race. Pretty straightforward for you, or did you have another plan in mind if there was an extra safety car?
No other plan. Just run the tank dry, fill it up, swap tyres, and go again.
I love that. It's awesome. A basic strategy, isn't it?
Yep, it works. And just hope to hell Race Labs doesn't lie to me for the last pit stop.
That would never happen, would it?
Don't speak ill of Race Labs. Not with Pete and here. Come on, man. Anyway.
But yeah, no, that was good. I did enjoy that.
Yeah, good on you, mate, and congratulations on your podium. I think that's going to give you a few extra points over Ray Oliver tonight, so I'm not sure whether it's going to put you into second in the championship, but you're certainly going to be a lot closer to him. That fight will carry on in the next few rounds.
Would have been closer if I could have held on to that top lap.
Absolutely, mate. Any shout-outs before you head out?
Yeah, just for the SRW sponsors, Warren and Brown, Melville, Sim Rigs, Racecraft, Dragon RC, Grim Industries, Toyo Sim and the promo department. Thanks, guys, for being on board and supporting us.
Good on you, Brad. Awesome. Good driving tonight, mate, and congratulations on P3.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
See ya.
See ya.
All right.
And that was Brad Wall, P3. Yeah, we got P2.
We'll say farewell to our guest commentator, Jason, who's got a dip. So thank you, mate.
It's been a pleasure.
And,
sorry, life has stepped in and got in the way.
No,
it happens to all of us.
You're good, mate. You take off and go and deal with the stuff, and hopefully we'll catch you back in the box soon.
It's been fun, lads. Thanks.
All right. Cheers, Jason.
we don't actually seem to have Brock in the green room. I wonder if he's having a chat with race control.
Let me have a quick squiz. No, Dan Schultz is in having a chat with race control. Brock's.
Let me just see. I'll hit them up. I don't want to drag Dylan in just yet if we can get away with it. Much rather.
Brock Mothershead, are you available somewhere? Are you listening to the stream?
Brock, I was going to say, if you're about, bud, jump into the green room. We'll catch up with you about your P2 tonight, unless he's already bailed.
That's a shame. I really wanted to ask Brock about that first fuel stop. You know, as Jet said on the chat, it was potentially a short fuel, and I wanted to know whether.
Just had word that he's had to bail. Again, something must have come up there for Brock. So, unfortunately, folks, you won't get to have a chat with Brock Mothershead tonight. But, Pete Baxter, I know you're going to enjoy this immensely. Let's drag this young bloke in. You are going to enjoy this too much, Pete, so I'm going to leave this all up to you, my dude.
Hey, Dylan, I've got a message for LMR Esports, man. I've got a message. And the message is, get this guy a professional contract. Get him out of AM. He's too good. He's too fast. Mate, congratulations on your race tonight. That was a wicked race and some really good ding-dong battles with Brock too in that latter half of the race. How'd it go for you?
It was good, and that just a couple of mistakes and all that. I know after the last tangle me and Brock had, I only had 4 incident points to play with for the rest of the race. So Jet said just keep those off tracks, play it safe and all that, and he had to bail before, I think with 4 laps to go, he had to bail and I just pulled away and that from Brock. I think he just used up his tyres too quickly, and I noticed I did a 3-something in the race, and that I can't remember what the final numbers were.
2:03.34.
Oh, okay.
I a little bit quicker than your quality time.
I thought it was only a 2:03.5, not
2:03.3, mate. So good drive out there.
I've got to ask you, when you come out of the pits the first time and you were behind Brock, so he got the jump on you, you had to fight for position, and it looked like you were getting a little bit of oversteer on the exit of a few corners that was costing you down the straight. Had you pushed your tyres too hard, or were you just getting on the throttle a little bit earlier?
I was pushing it hard, getting on the throttle too early, doing some adjustments in the car and all that. Wasn't working, and then I was just getting frustrated. He was just covering the inside pretty much every corner and that, but it's racing, so we play on.
Yeah, look, I do a lot of race control. I actually thought it was really fair defending. It really made you think, and the good thing is, you know, for lap after lap, you sat in his rear windscreen and put him under pressure, which is what good drivers do, right? So, you know, the worst drivers in our service will have had a crash within 2 laps of doing that. You know, you sat there with Brock, and yeah, you had it coming together. After about 3 laps of racing side by side. But frankly, you both put on an awesome race, and it was really good sports racing from my perspective. So well done to you, and we didn't catch Brock. Well done to Brock at the same time for that racing. But congratulations to you, mate. Mate, I have commentated you twice. You have won twice. When is the professional contract coming?
Nah, you have to talk to the team boss, Mr. Jet Murray.
Is it? Mr. Jet Murray is the team boss. So in fact, I know Jet's boss, so I might talk to Jet's boss and I'll go, right, I'm going to say, I think we need to promote Dylan here.
They know I'm quick, but they've said leave it until next season.
I've got a bone to pick with you. You did say on Sunday night that you were happy to race with the quick guys, mate. You are the quick guy, right? So
you can't race with yourself.
So Sunday night, you can't say that anymore. You are racing guys your own speed, all right?
So I just want to touch on that. You're coming back here on Sunday, Dylan, with the pro guys as well. Are you looking forward to trying to mix it with the big boys around here, or?
Not really. It's just it's just gonna be carnage after carnage after carnage. It's just if we try and go too wide through corners that we're not meant to and all that, and plus with the off tracks as well, as soon as you like go almost half the car over and you still got two wheels on the tarmac, you're getting an off track in that.
Yeah, at least they're not slowdowns. But
Yeah.
other tracks are worse.
Hang on, Pete. If we see Dylan get an off track, can we just give him a slowdown? Like, can we just try and mix it up and keep it fair?
I think for the next Tuesday night's race, if it's a 20-lap race, we'll give him 5 slowdowns to start with automatically.
Well, it's Oran Park next week, and I'm not looking forward to it.
I was just about to ask you that, Dylan. I followed you for a little while now, and we've had many conversations off the cameras. But Oran Park's not one of your favourites, is it?
No. Oran Park and Alton Park, those are two I'm going to definitely struggle with.
You better put in some practice, mate.
I said to Rob, I'm going to be a spectator. So
if I had my way, I would ask him we put in the Legacy supercar in.
they're great spectator tracks because they're shocking to drive in a supercar.
Throw a curveball in it. Put me in a Super 2 car. See how I go.
Yeah. Anyway, mate, congratulations on your win tonight. You drove like absolute champ and deserved that win. It was really good racing with Brock, but I think you got it overall. So, you got any shout-outs before we let you away with your trophy tonight?
We got Lodge Bros, NZ Performance, OKMS Photographics, Majors Garage, JM Designs, and all the team from Alamar Esports.
Good on you, mate. Hey, listen, it's been great chatting with you again. And you can now say that I am your best commentator, right? Because every time I commentate for you, you've had a win.
Well, let's see if I can get a win on Watch Corp Sunday.
I don't know if I get an invite back, mate.
I think this might be the last combination for you two right here, I think. Good race tonight, Dylan. Well done, mate. Go and enjoy that win, and we'll see you on Sunday, buddy.
See ya.
Oh, it's always a good bit of fun, isn't it, Rob? You've got to enjoy this commentator's gig, mate. It
is fantastic. It's a good bit of fun. Like, you get those connections with the drivers and you hear their sponsors and you see their sponsors and their teammates in the chats and, it just boosts it, just adds that little bit to it. But, at the end of the day, we're not seeing, what you'd normally call the animosity, I guess. You're not seeing those, he took my driver out type thing. You're seeing guys that are understanding that, hey, that was a solid race. Brock got hit by Dylan. Dylan got, a bit of buffed up by Brock, and no team sitting there going, he's a dirty driver. It's still just like, hey, there's race control there. Let them make the decision. Throw it to the umpire. The umpire gives you the ruling. You accept it and move on. So a lot of respect
for a small field tonight's race was awesome, right? Because we had groups of 2 and groups of 3 cars, multiple groups of them for most of the race actually having battles. So even though that was a small field, because often small fields on big tracks, cars will spread out and there's not a lot to talk about. These guys gave us everything, The battle between Dylan and Brock, the battle between Brad and Andy, the battle between Pete Pavlich and Dan Schultz. Mate, that's just really good racing. And, I've got to say, if there's any other AMs that are out there and thinking, do I, don't I jump back in, you get in this field because that's good racing.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've seen this sort of week in and week out with this V8 Am series. These guys just get in and they mix it up. And we see that. We see the 2s and 3 car battle packs and like we saw tonight, 4 and 5 just congregate together. And they're all about the same pace. They just, they flip-flop between sectors and they one's quicker, one's slower. They just balance out. But overall, just produces some really good racing. And it's good to see a few of the guys that are, generally growing and coming forward in the category and moving in and starting to, I guess, in a way, rattle the cage of those professional drivers and starting to say, hey, look, I'm coming up. You better be ready because, I'm not gonna lay down. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, mate, before I let you close off, I just want to say thanks again for inviting me to one of my favourite tracks on the iRacing service. I love this track. I love driving it. I love watching cars here. I've been to a Formula One Grand Prix here, and I watched Lewis Hamilton win with a home crowd, which was something I will never, ever forget in my life. It's a big part of my life, the Silverstone circuit. So thanks for inviting me back. Hopefully the admin team will tell me whether I passed or failed as a commentator. at some stage, and we'll see what happens in the future. But hey, look, it's been really good filling in for a couple of nights for you, and I've enjoyed just about every minute of it.
Yeah, no, thanks, Pete, for jumping on in tonight, and the Sunday night as well. Really appreciate it. But yeah, as we wind up tonight, big shout out to all our sponsors and partners to help keep the show on the road and help keep these things running with Toyo Sim, Grim Industries, Dragon RC. Again, that's on one of the cars there. We got Warren and Brown Tools, Racecraft. Again, thank you so much for all that you offer. Sim Rigs for our Sunday night sponsor as well. So again, just without those guys, these races don't come to you, and we don't get the chance to put them on. So massive shout out to all our sponsors and partners. And yeah, that might be it for tonight. But tomorrow, Wednesday, doubleheader, TCR followed by F3. Don't want to miss that. So on behalf of the broadcast team and the management team here at SRW, it has been a fantastic evening of racing with the Supercar AM Series. We will see you back tomorrow night for some more SRW TV. Good night, all.
This is Chance again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniffle Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble model right now because take one, Priest Tanner